kind of wrap up a little bit next year.
All right, we are live from LegionsCon. Normally we would have played music at the beginning. This would be shooting the shelf. Jesse, unfortunately, is not with us. We're going.
He's alive.
He is alive. He's alive.
He's not feeling well.
Yeah, he didn't die. But you know, we do have Joe here. Off-World member Joe. No Dooch, no Sean. So we thought we would do the Off-World theme song live with the one Jeremy DeWitt, because you know everybody agrees that it's the best theme song of any show ever. So he's gonna play it, and we're gonna.
To be fair, Who's the Boss is really good.
That's true.
Not bad. There's no off-world.
That's true. It's no Off-World. So Jeremy DeWitt. Take
All
it
right, riff.
Take flight each and every Friday night. Join the fun, let's go Off-World. Where the dirtiness will stop. Join the fun, let's go Off-World. Toys, comics, pop culture, movies, and so much more. Matthew, Jesse, Curtis, and Joe. Have a fun little tour. Take flight every Friday night.
Join the fun and let's go Off-World.
On Sunday.
Off-World.
Let's go Off-World.
Here we go.
Let's go Off-World tonight.
Boom.
Yep.
Just for you.
Thank you, sir.
I think that should be our regular version.
That one.
Yeah, you like the Joe part?
That was my
Yeah.
favorite. I don't know.
We should cut that Joe part and put it on the regular one.
And Joe.
Yeah. Because then we don't have to pay Jeremy to record it again.
That's right. I'm gonna need about $350.
Doing you dirty.
We're not doing it again.
bro. I don't do it twice without getting paid.
That only works in the chat.
So we just had an amazing LegionsCon week. And you know, last year we closed out the show. We do have super chats enabled. Apparently we got a $5 super chat from Van. It says play the song again. Nothing says that we have to do what the super chats say. But thank you. So
Just play the Joe part again.
yeah, play the Joe part.
All right. Wait, we have how's it go? I don't know how to start in the middle.
Matthew, Jesse,
Toys,
Curtis,
comics,
and
pop culture news.
movies, and so much more.
Matthew, Jesse, Curtis, and Joe are the guys on the fun-filled tour.
A flight.
There we
There you
go.
I love that. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Good stuff. Good stuff.
That was worth $5.
Yeah, definitely worth a
You
super
can keep
chat. No, you need it, man. You,
I've earned it. I need it a lot more than you do.
well, Jeremy, since we've got you up here, you know,
Here we go.
when we did this last year, it was I thought it was a good way to close out the show last year. We basically brought people up here. Mostly they didn't want to. They were going to the bathroom, they were trying to pee, and we would yank them on screen. But when they got up here, we would ask them to tell us about a memorable moment of the week. So
Just for the record, I wasn't here yet last year, so any bathroom yanking had nothing to do with it.
true. And Joe was not anybody's memorable moment because he wasn't here.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
But he is this
Wow.
year.
Wow.
He is this year.
I was thinking about him.
Yeah. So Jeremy, can
While
you?
you were yanking in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Oh, call me
You're
later.
gonna do it right.
Jesse's gonna be so upset with the show when he
know.
sees it.
I'm sorry, dude.
I'm just an accessory.
They're jokes, I swear.
So, can you give us one, memorable moment of the weekend that, just stands out for you that you're gonna take with you?
I talked about the one moment last night, so maybe I shouldn't talk about that
You
one.
can talk about whatever you want.
Although, okay, I'll just say overall, meeting everyone, people I've seen millions of times, that's fun too, but meeting everybody, all the toys that I bought, which were surprisingly Legion Light. I got a lot of Glyos.
Oh, Pete was telling me about that.
Have you heard about it?
yeah,
Because
from Pete.
Pete showed me what it was this weekend.
Yeah, he's a big time collector. Yeah.
That's actually going to probably be the thing that I remember the most is Pete buying about 50 different Glyos figures,
After ignoring
having
you.
never heard of it before. He's got one in his pocket right now.
I think he's got multiple. Yes, he does. He's got, he's got multiple.
Two.
There you go. Well, he had 2 in his pocket, folks.
Yeah. So probably just the shenanigans with Mr. Peter McCarthy are the biggest one. But, hanging around the fire late at night, hanging out with all these people, a lot of people I've never met before.
Really
some
beautiful people,
shows,
right?
yeah, gorgeous people.
Oh,
I
yeah.
look like crap compared to these
No,
people.
you're very sweet.
uh-huh.
We love you.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah.
Hanging out by the fire. Me and Amber have a good time out by the fire.
Yeah.
You guys get your dirty minds going. It ain't that.
They talked
Not on
about
this show.
hair color techniques.
Yes.
So,
Yep. I'm going gray, and she's a different color every day. So
very nice. Well, thank
Yep.
you, Jeremy. Joe.
is that you kicking me off?
No, you can. We're gonna replace you in a second, but not
Perfect.
yet. Not
Perfect.
yet. Hit us with one, Joe. What do you got?
For a moment.
Yeah. I mean, this is obviously your first LegionsCon, right?
It is my first con, period. I've
Oh,
never
wow.
been to a convention before. So,
Okay.
so I doubled up. If I figured if I was going to go to one, this was the one.
It's a pretty good one.
That's
And
pretty
it's
damn
a
good.
Damn
one,
good
yeah.
people
An
here. So
amazing experience.
So hit us with one that
one.
just sticks in your head right now.
The first one of the week was when during G-Con, Jeremy was building up to the reveal of the D&D book, the Mythic Legions, Dungeons and Dragons book, and he name dropped Legion's Quest. He said, "If you Legion's Quest guys had waited just a little longer," and I yelled, "I'll just kill him and start over."
And
Yeah.
and at that point, Trevor just died anyway because that's what he
Right,
does, right? Yeah.
That's and he's been practicing
Oh, all
before
season.
dying,
Yeah.
the whole time. So
Yeah.
that was my first surreal moment, I think here.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was a good one. I'll have more.
Oh yeah, we're
But
gonna
we'll save
we're gonna
those for later.
see. They only get to give one. We get to give one each time we have somebody up here.
We're the show.
We're
yeah,
oh, you guys are cheaters, man.
Yeah, we are very, very big cheaters. I'm gonna say for my first one, I'm gonna say the Return of the King. Corn Boy in the house, being able, start off G-Con. I will say though, he started tearing up right at the beginning of G-Con, and he almost got all of us, man.
I was saying, didn't all of us kind of go?
Dude, it was we're like, shut up, man, shut up, just shut up. Yeah. But no, and not only that, but like hearing him throughout the weekend, like shouting out announcements and stuff. I know Pete was getting pissed. Like, that's his job the last year. So, Corn Boy came back and took it over. Sorry, Pete.
Let's be fair. I think Pete made up for it in many other
Yes.
things this weekend.
Yeah.
So.
If you watched any shows this week, Pete was on it. He was basically doing me. It was his version of a gauntlet. So, yeah, Pete was active. But yeah, having Corn Boy back was awesome, and just seeing him, walk around the con, taking everything in. This was his first time seeing this venue, even. So I know it was
good point.
Yeah, it was really special for him. So that was awesome. So, we're gonna give you one more because you sung a song for us. You got anything else that you want to hit us with?
And you put Joe in it. So
And you did put a joint in it twice.
I did. I put Joe on it twice. So You know, just for you, Joe, I will redo the song, just that little part, for absolutely free. Curtis owes me like $50, but you don't have to pay me nothing.
Hey,
True.
that sounds like a fair deal.
There you go.
I'll take it.
Nice.
Um,
Anything else you want to leave these folks with?
I don't know, man. If you guys have never gone to LegionsCon, you need to go.
Yeah.
Because it's only getting bigger and better every single year.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's too many good people you can't miss out on this. If you die and don't meet all these people, you're going to be very sad.
I mean, you'll be dead, so it's hard to be sad while you're dead, but yeah.
I don't know. I've never done it yet, so
That's true.
we'll find out.
That's true. And we found out that it is going to be in the same venue next year.
Yes,
so,
we have already.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's cool.
Let's just stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just stay for a
Yeah,
year.
we'll just stay until next year. You know, if we're gonna have you step aside, I think we probably should bring another member of my wife's gonna kill me on here, and he's hit every other show. We may as well bring Pete up here. Don't you
All
think?
right. You earned
Yeah.
it.
All right, Pete.
Or rather, you asked for it.
we got to bring him up here so nobody wants to follow him.
guys.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Hey, buddy.
How's it going?
Good. Doing well.
So you've been very active this week,
I have.
and
I absolutely have.
you know, I think one of the first things that people noticed when you walked in the door is you're half the man you used to be.
Yeah. I went on an all rice diet.
Uh-huh.
That's all I eat, just rice.
Okay.
So, no, modern medicine, man. And that's one of the greatest things about the world that we live now. You don't actually have to try. You know? They're just like, here, take this injection, and like, bam. And so, yeah. Thank you, Western civilization, modern medicine.
And you discovered that you can get thinner and funnier at the same time, right?
I always knew it was true, but then again, I'm extremely humble. So,
That's true. That's true. Well, hit us with a memorable moment for yourself. Something that happened this weekend.
So honestly, it's always the people. I mean, that's the given, right? The opportunity to sit and actually play on the first playthrough of the Mythic Legions role-playing game.
How cool is
was
that?
absolutely amazing. And Cameron, obviously, not only is he obviously passionate about everything he does in the studio, but to take another passion and watch them collide. He was a magnificent dungeon master or game master, I think this iteration is going to refer to it as. But he had a great story, and I got to play with a longtime friend of his named Raj. I got to play with D Amazing, and then of course Jacob Girard. It was great. It was absolutely fun to see the miniatures, and having been playing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition for quite a few years now. Familiarity with some of the monsters and the creatures and those things, but to look down and see this is a stone troll that we're fighting,
You want
it
to
was
hear
just,
a quick funny story about that?
I would love to.
So I played the knight today because I got to do it today. And I played the knight, and Cameron's like, place your miniature where you want it to be. And I reached down and broke the sword.
Oh boy.
Off of the knight miniature. And I was like, oh my God.
They're firing you.
I just broke the miniature like test. So he was like, don't worry about it. But, I felt
And he made you fight the rest of the time without a sword?
Right.
I was poking people with the hilt. It's horrible. Not even my character. I was doing that. So.
I fired an arrow at it, and the arrow shattered. And I was like, I probably should rethink this, because it's a giant stone troll. But no, that was a ton of fun, and to get that. And I told Jeremy, I said, Jeremy Girard, actually, when he reached out, I got a text message that says, hey, you got time for a phone call? So I said, absolutely. And so he called me, and he goes, hey, you're good? You got a minute? I said, yeah, I was cutting apart a car. I put down the jaws of life. I said, what's up, man? And dropped what I was doing and took the phone call. And he mentioned the game, and he said, we're going to be doing he's like, there's going to be these time slots, and there's some surprise unveils we're going to be playing. And I said, yes. And he was like, I didn't even tell. I said, it doesn't matter. Yes, I'm in. And luckily, that's what it was to be able to do that. So a highlight amongst highlights, of course. But
So as somebody that's played D&D for a while, just first impressions of the game as far as how easy it is to pick up from somebody that has experience with D&D versus and people that wouldn't.
If you have any familiarity with the game, running the 5e system it's everything that you're used to. The difference is there's going to be some different species, what they call them species versus races, but it's really just learning what those characters can do. So if you have any experience in 5e, you're going to pick this right up. And the great thing about using a system like that, especially one that's on the open gaming license system, is they all fit together. If 2 years from now, I wouldn't be surprised if they unveil the Cosmic Legions role-playing game. And you go from stone trolls and swords and paladins and bows and arrows, and then you take it into spaceships and, you know, guns and all that stuff. It's the same game, right? It's all about what your character can do, how they can do it, and then it's all really a roll of the dice. And as that player character gets more experienced and they level up, the dice don't matter as much because everything starts to get leveled up. But the problem is sort of all the bad guys, and that's really what kind of makes things exciting. And so yeah, should be a lot of fun.
Beautiful. I think we got a D13 Jesus behind us. Hey, hey, Chris.
Does anybody notice the longer he runs that company, the more he looks like Jesus?
So speaking of the Dungeons and Dragons campaign, the role playing, you obviously got a chance to do it today. Any other things that you'd want to add to, you know, what Pete said there?
Yeah, we smoked that stone troll.
Okay.
Didn't even have to try hard.
Oh, we did. The only reason we had to try hard was because of friggin' Jacob Girard. I'm like, you're rolling the dice. You got a 1 in 20 chance to roll a 1. Why do you keep rolling 1s, man? It was almost like go hide behind the rock so you don't kill us all.
It was weird because I was talking to him today. He was right behind my table, and he said that Pete was the biggest elf he's ever seen in his life.
And, one of the great things to an experienced game master. So obviously you have rule sets, right? And rules in these things, they're made to be broken. And in my home game, the campaign we've been playing for the last 5 years, our DM has what he calls the rule of cool. And if you can come up with a reason as to why you did this action, maybe it doesn't necessarily meet the specific mechanics of what it's supposed to do, but he'll go, rule of cool. Yes, I will allow it.
Okay.
And that's how Cameron is. Cameron goes, okay, what do you guys want to do? And he goes, oh, well, if you want to do that, you make a compelling argument and I'll let you do it. And it
In
just
my game, home game, that's called cheating.
and it's, you know, so if you're willing to explain yourself and you're able to put a little bit of meat on that skeleton of what it is you're trying to do, he'll give you the option to play it that way. And that's what's great, because 5e is a rule set. Okay, we're going to use this, but you can do whatever you want. And that's where a lot of that fun, a lot of that creativity comes from, especially when you've got players like we had yesterday that were very comfortable role playing. We were talking to each other as characters, you know, and I literally, I'd never met, I met Raj as I walked into the room. I shook his hand, I sat down, we opened the game, we hear something. The first thing I said is, I knock an arrow. And he looks at me and he goes, why do you always just knock an arrow? We have no idea what's going on, you know? And in his mind, his character is like, oh, this guy's always got to pull out his bow and arrow. And we didn't, none of that was rehearsed. That was, like I said, he knew me for 8 minutes. Right. And I was like, this is going to be fun. So,
and on the other end of that, you know, in our group, like Mira was in the group, and another lady that had never played before at all. And they were able to pick it up, you know, just with a little bit of explanation. They were and they had so much fun. They were clapping at points, cheering, you know, when they killed monsters. It was super fun. So, I think anybody who hasn't tried D&D, if you have any interest in it, give it a shot. You know, it's more fun than you could possibly imagine. You just need just one person who knows the rules, and you've got a game together. And Cameron said something that's 100% true. The only real rule of the game is to have fun. Absolutely. Everything else is optional.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Steph was there too, kicking butt. Absolutely. Yeah. Shooting arrows and stuff, making fogs.
So as guys that both have played, you know, Dungeons and Dragons for a while, you've obviously know folks that love this game, but they've not really ever been in the toy world. Do you see where this could maybe pull people into Mythic Legions, like the main line?
I do. There's definitely going to be some of that. You're going to get RPGers that are going to look at the world, and they're going to go, man, this is really cool. And they'll pick up a character that maybe looks like a character they're playing, that kind of thing. But what, in my personal opinion, what you're going to see is you're going to see a hell of a lot more toy collectors starting to go RPG than you are the other way. Because these, so gentleman in the front row right here, he bought his first Mythic Legions today, right? Cosmic Legions, right?
Not today.
Oh,
He-
but you were
he was
signing
bringing
it
it around.
today,
Yeah.
right?
He brought
Okay.
it earlier this year.
So-
Yeah.
Okay, you start collecting these action figures. You start to kind of learn the lore and learn about mythos, fall in love with a certain character. Now all of a sudden you can get together with some good friends on a Saturday and you can portray that character going against some of those villains that you've read the bios on.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big deal. It really is going to be a big deal.
So, and I can say this, Cameron did tell me, this is a big reveal.
Is it? Would you say it's a scoop explosion?
I wouldn't say that, but you can.
Do we have Kent here? Kent?
I'm
No.
telling
Is this
you right
live?
now, if you
This is-
offer
this
me a
isn't
scoop
live.
explosion, it better be 4 scoops of 4 different types of ice cream. I've been a fat diabetic way too long to be a scoop explosion. I'm like, waffle cone me, let's go.
All right, hit us with a scoop. What do you got?
Cameron said that named characters,
Uh-huh.
figures that exist, will be statted out in the book for us to use in our campaign.
Ooh, that's pretty interesting.
Well, and that's great too for the newer players. Instead of having to roll up a character and figure all that out, you can actually pick a character and then get into the game, learn the game, and then as you're comfortable playing that, you can learn about how to build that character and then go back the next time around and start from scratch and build your own character. Are you that person that just wants to run in? You're a tank and you're going to run in swinging your sword. That's just how you roll. Or are you the stealthy one that's looking for traps and shooting bows and arrows? Or are you strictly magic? You roll in, you put a cloaking device on yourself, and you just fire blast everybody. Nobody even sees you, and that's and when you're learning to build those characters, you can learn the game and enjoy the game without having to do any of that. That can be a complicated process for somebody who's new. Well, no, here's a pre-made character sheet. Have some fun. And then once you learn the mechanics of how to do that, then you start to expand and you start to take a different race or a different species in this case, or, again, different weaponry and what have you, and then build your own character. Now, all of a sudden, you've got a character from scratch. So,
And in that, skeletons are going to be a playable race.
yeah.
Cameron's actually making it where you can be a skeleton and it's going to fit in like any other species that you would select.
Awesome.
Super cool.
It's going to
Awesome.
be super cool.
I had one disappointed about the game. My character's name was Tritura, which nobody picked up on the fact that was corn tread in Latin. And I was glad that Jim didn't, because I left Jim out because neither Jim nor James nor Preziosi are fun in Latin. Because in Latin it's just Jim and James and Preziosi. So
Preziosi is kind of fun sounding.
yeah, but it was too obvious.
Oh,
You know
gotcha,
what I mean?
gotcha.
So,
Well, Pete, before we let you go, you've gone from, having to be, Steven last year said you work one day a year. You come in here and then you put on your show on Saturday night, and that's the one day that you actually show up. This year it was Thursday at the Legions Ladies, Friday PGG, last night with your guys' show, which was awesome, and now you're here tonight. So you're going from one day working to 4, and you killed it each time.
Thank you.
Any thoughts on your expanded role on late night at LegionsCon?
Yeah, it's about time. Have you guys been watching your shows?
I wouldn't watch that crap. Not with you.
No,
Rob.
the only complaint that I would have is I understand how, from the regular people, the normies like you looking up here going, wow, this guy is absolutely brilliant. You guys didn't get to see half of it because it's just been a long weekend. And I didn't have the magic tonight that I normally do. So as impressed as you were, you could imagine on Legions Ladies, I was throwing 7 different kinds of smoke. They brought me up to ask me one question. I did 40 minutes. They were like, hey, we got a question for you, Pete. 40 minutes later, I was like, okay, ladies, I probably should give you the show back. Purple Gang, they brought me on to breathe some life into that show. I was on about 20 minutes, time of death, called it, and then just walked out. But no, to be able to hang out with the Purple Gang and do that, I thought I was wacky. Man, PGG is wacky. And I guess I'm really proud of myself because the Legions Ladies were like, hey, just so you know, we're a PG family friendly show. And I was like, you don't know me, do you? And I did not swear one time. And I even scolded Amber for getting very close to dropping a very specific word that rhymes with shuck. So, yeah, even every good comedian should be able to perform clean, ladies and gentlemen. So.
Well, thank you for performing at all. You made all of the shows fun. But one thing we did find out during Legion's Ladies is that there's only one person that can really follow you and do better.
Oh, are you kidding me?
And that is Mira. Mira, come on up to the stage. Thanks, Pete.
Come on. I want everybody to know I've been performing on stage for 15, 16 years, right? And I am amazing. I grabbed her in the hallway with her dad after the show and I was like, "You crushed it, kid." So, high five.
Thank you.
Well done.
That really means a lot. Thank you so much.
Of course. Have a seat.
Have a seat. Come on down. So, you got to LegionsCon and
Yeah.
you scoot a little bit closer so
Oh,
we can
yes.
get you on screen.
Sorry,
So
go
you're
continue.
fine. You're fine. So last night, let's move this mic down a little bit so that
Oh,
the
gotcha.
people at home can see you.
Do I need to lean it?
No, you're
Okay.
good.
Okay.
What the heck?
Yeah. Your Allegiance set up all this stuff. Like we don't know how to do this stuff.
No, hold on. The green mic was in front of my face the whole time. John had to come all the way from out of the country.
Yeah, but people want to see
Fix it,
her.
you're right.
It has our logo on it.
Yeah, he wanted the logo on there. We already added you to the song. Calm down. All right.
All right, you
Okay.
got me.
All right. So Mira, you got do a lot of things, and we're going to ask you about your memorable moment. But one thing I wanted to talk to you about first is, Friday night we did the customizing studio event,
Yes.
and you were one of the artists that was at a table. We had 6 different artists at the table, kind of doing their thing, and had people in there painting alongside them. Can you talk to the folks a little bit about that event and what your thoughts were?
Sure, yeah, we had I think around like 7 folks per table, maybe 7 to 10 folks per table, and then we had an artist. I think we had like maybe 5 tables in total that each had different artists getting to talk with folks, and so it was really cool. Like some of the folks at my table, it was their very first LegionsCon. Some people were veterans, and some people were familiar with customizing, and some people weren't. So it was really cool just to sit and chit chat and talk like, hey, what brought you to Mythic Legions? What brought you to the convention? What got you interested in customizing? And we each got a really cool Wolf King bust that we all got to work on. And we got like an hour and a half to work on it and paint it. And some people were like, I don't know what dry brushing is. Can you explain that to me? And some people were like, oh, I'm good. I'm just going to paint it black and then dry brush and we're good. Like, I don't need any help. And so like getting to help talk through some people, like talk with people and give them advice or feedback, people would show it at the end. I'm like, oh, I really like what you did with the eyes, and like getting to talk through. And everybody, what I really loved is that in everybody's bust, you got to see the spark of what their passion is when it comes to art, like who they are as a person and what kind of art flavor that they like kind of shown through. There was somebody who made like glowy eyes on theirs, and there's somebody who did one like, I want mine to look like a raccoon. And so and some people did blue, some people did purple, I did like a brown wolf. I didn't finish mine because I take forever. But I didn't even get to the eyes. But it was, and I got caught up talking with people, and so it was just, what I loved is that it brought all of these different people together who all came to these lines for different reasons, and you got to talk and get to know them as people, but also get to work on something and chit chat, and also working with different paints. I didn't bring any of my paints or my brushes that I'm used to, so it was a fun challenge getting to work with the paints that were provided and the brushes, and getting to tinker with something that was new. And also I usually prime with like a spray rattle can primer before I tackle. So I've never painted anything that was just straight up on the piece, and so it was a tricky learning those pieces, but it was also a good exercise. And my dad was there at a different table too, and getting to see his work. His was a brown wolf with yellow eyes, and he even painted little scars on his. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. I like it. He's like a war-torn hero kind of moment. So it was just really cool getting to like that, like little pieces that bring out people's character and what they like and what they're passionate about in each of their things. I think was really awesome. And it was really fun getting to do that.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, obviously, I was at the front of the room, kind of running things. We were doing some door prizes and things like that. So I wasn't actually at the tables, but I got a lot of great feedback about yourself and all the other
Oh,
artists.
that's really kind.
Yeah, and you're right. There were some folks in there that it was very early on in their customizing journey. There were some folks that have been doing it for a while, but they just wanted the experience of hanging out and painting with one another, which is kind of what we do in the customizing studio.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
each week we do, Sundays 1 p.m. we always do one. There's other times that, whether it's a, holiday day off or maybe somebody just wants to do it on Saturday, sometimes we'll start up an extra one. But
I got a story. Do you want to hear my story about this event?
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
because you were one of the people that came in and were working with one of the artists, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was.
Go ahead.
So I want to say I'm a proficient customizer. I think most people have seen my customizing
you're okay.
work. Yeah, decent.
Yeah, you're decent. Yeah.
And so I came in and I got my stuff. And so I went and sat at Maverick's table. So I was
Oh,
like,
nice.
hey, Mav, how's it going? And he goes, hey, so have you ever painted before? Do you want to pencil it? And I was like, oh, yeah. So that took all the stuffing out of me right off the bat.
Oh no.
Put you on an equal playing field.
No, that's down.
Gotcha. So, a couple things, like I said, I feel like the event very much mirrored kind of what we do on a normal basis,
yeah.
where you've got just some folks that are just hanging out, some folks that are asking questions and getting advice. And I wanted to bring that up because, I know a couple years ago after LegionsCon, I didn't paint for about 3 months and I kind of fell into a depression. And so one of the reasons why I wanted to start the customizing studio was to make myself accountable and get myself because it's good for my mental health, just painting on a regular basis. And I think it helps some other people too. And so,
Yeah, everyone around me.
yeah, everyone around me. So as we finish this and we know, hey, there's some folks in here we're not going to see for another 12 months. Like, it is a good way to stay in touch. It's a good way to stay creative, all that kind of stuff. And I know you're in there all the time.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
anything else that you want to add to that?
I love this. I've had to miss it the last couple of times because of school, and every time I'm like, no, I want to go and make it. So, but I love it. I love having a dedicated time and day, so you can just like, okay, I'm gonna lock it. Like during the week, I'll do as much as I can with school and stuff, and then I have this designated day and time to be accountable and being able to talk with people. And so, this is a little bit of a spiel, but I started out doing music, and music was kind of my thing. I have a band, we're called Flatman Theory, and we release stuff, but all of our band members now live in different states, and it's hard to record stuff when you all don't live in the same space. But and I had some medical stuff where it got difficult to play for long periods of time, but painting is a lot less strenuous for me. And so there was a time after I had to have a couple of surgeries where I fell into that depression. I didn't want to do anything creative. I'll just sit and watch TV. But I think what I love is that my dad got those robot heads from Kevin Olson, and I started tinkering with those. I'm like, this is awesome. I love this. And I found out about cosmics, and then I started customizing cosmics. Then I found out about mythics, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make all of it and combine all of these pieces and create this cosmic mythic fusion guy. And that really got me fueled and interested and passionate. And I'm like, oh, there are other people who love and enjoy these figures and create this week, and getting to see all of these different amazing pieces. It's I feel more fuel to that fire has been added, and now you have that designated day and time where you can meet with people and talk and oh, I'm working on this, or oh, I've people talked about glazing, and I've never done that before, and so I know I'm gonna be having and asking a lot of questions probably over the next couple of weeks to try some new things. And so I think that's what I love about the studio, is that you have this time and space, and you have a whole team of accountability buddies where you're okay, I know people maybe I don't really feel like painting today, but I want to paint one head. That's gonna be my goal. Oh, today I feel like I'm totally in the groove. I'm gonna knock out 3 in 2 hours. And so that's something I think is really amazing, is about having that accountable time to be able to paint, and you get to be with people and talk and ask questions and learn from them and see what they're working on and be like, wow, that's awesome. Ooh, I want to try something like that. Ooh, I didn't even know like about any of these pieces or and getting to meet other customizers, because like I don't know everybody in the cabal or everybody in the customizing studio. There's different people each week, so you get to find like a new person. If you're like, oh, I love your work. I want to learn how you did that. How did you do the eyes? Or like, I know Emil taught me a lot about how to customize like those goblins. He has that video on YouTube where you like do the dry brush, and he's like, it's like clown makeup, and like that really helped me. Like after I started learning that, I'm like, ooh, maybe I can actually try to do skin tones rather than just doing metallics all the time. So, so that's been real. I love the studio, and I love getting to have that space to be creative and also be with people. Or even if you're like, I'm too tired to work this weekend, I really like wore myself out, you can just hop on and just talk and get to see what people are work on. Like they meet you where you are, and I think that's something that's really magical. Like and they're always there for you whenever you're ready to take that leap and take that step.
That's awesome. Well, I've got a couple scoop explosions myself.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. So first off, the customizing studio event at LegionsCon, this was very much a trial run. Jeremy reached out to me a few months ago and asked me if I would be interested in running this. And we wanted to kind of see how it went. And there was a very positive response, huge response. And he's already asked us to do it again next year. So that's scoop explosion number one.
Oh,
Wow.
Number two is somebody heard about the event that didn't know about it beforehand, got really excited and asked if they could join next year, and that is Sherry from the studio.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so next year in the customizing studio, Sherry will be up with us doing the painting. So yeah.
That's gonna be amazing.
Right?
Oh, that's awesome.
So I did want to address that because I did see a comment here from Maverick. He said, in his defense, you had a baseball cap on instead of your stocking cap. That he couldn't recognize you. He didn't know that you were the Joe Gonsalves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like when a girl breaks up with you and says it's not you, it's me.
Oh, no, I guarantee you it's always Maverick.
So thank you for everybody that made that a success. If you are interested in being in the customizing studio that we have, on Messenger each week, let me know. We'll add you to the group, and be on the lookout for the thing that we put out for next year, because those spots fill up very quickly, and we're able to convert some waitlist folks this year, but I'm guessing that next year it's going to be even more busy. And if you want to see what it's like and you weren't there, I know that Kent Poole of Kent Poole Collects did film a lot during the session, and he is going to be putting a video out on it on his YouTube channel. So if you want to see kind of what it was like in the studio there and what maybe it would be like if you joined us on a weekly basis, check out that video. So before we let you go, was there anything else that was just like super memorable for you that you're taking home with you?
I could honestly probably talk about this for hours.
I bet you could.
Yeah, this was like, because this was my very first LegionsCon. I got to go to intern this week. Like, there was like so much getting to learn, see Eric sculpt in real time and actually give us idea. Like my dad was like, draw a fish demon. And so like you got to see him like, okay, like let's take some of these, like, give him some mandibles, and like getting to see him sculpt and talk in real time and learn about that. Like I was just flabbergasted, and like getting to hear about the tools and that he actually used to like do the physical casting and had to completely relearn and transition to doing digital sculpting. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And I know everybody already talked about doing the D&D roleplay, but that was amazing. And my twin has a campaign right now, and I'm playing an owl paladin bard, and that's like the very first campaign I've actually played in. We've only done a couple of sessions, but like I texted her about all of the things, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, dang! I really wish I could make it." But I'm like, "I'm gonna keep you posted. We're gonna do stuff." But I think probably one of the most memorable things is like today. Like, there's so many, but I was able to like trade to like somebody was interested. I brought 2 customs to the Wolf King table, and somebody was interested in them, and I was able to trade them for one of the Ravens. So, and that he was one of like the ones that I want. And I'm gonna gift him to my sister because we have this Kenku character in it in the campaign that we're playing. And so she'll be able to have one of the birds now. So I'm gonna gift it for her birthday, our birthday at the end of the month. That was probably something I found was really memorable. But the most memorable thing and what I think is like getting to meet all of these amazing people and customizers and creators who I've just seen in the digital space in like and getting to see their artwork and getting to actually like look at it up close and getting to talk with them and learn about them as people. I think just the community part and getting to actually like see and feel the love that exists was like really, really powerful. And that's something like I think I'm gonna have with me for the rest of my life. And I think this was a pivotal, life-changing moment, and I can't wait for next year.
Awesome.
Hey, and Curtis.
Yeah. Let's hear it from Mira.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mira.
No offense to Trevor, but he should ask Mira for some tips on how to play a wizard. You know that today she just murdered it instead of being murdered like what Trevor.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm
Explosion number 3. Fellow podcasters, I have just officially added to my performance rider. One of my demands is to never follow Mira. Can we do it one more time? Find something in this world where you can even be as half as passionate as she is, and you will live a happy life. That was absolutely awesome.
totally.
All right.
I agree.
Go
Thank you, Pete. Next, I want to bring somebody up here that made all of this possible because we collectively, Joe, you and I'm gonna speak for both of us, are idiots.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Totally.
And totally unprepared, right?
I didn't know we were doing a show.
But there's,
I don't know that we are right now.
there are certain people that are very professional that know how to do this stuff. They're mostly European.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're mostly European.
I can see that.
And so I'd like to bring up John Caulfield to the stage because we're talking through mics that say Euro Legions on it through a board that I don't know. I mean, it looks like it's got a 5 and a 7. I know that much from Steven. But I don't know much about all this stuff.
If I knew
but-
how to read, that would have been
It's in metric.
It's in metric. Okay, that's different. Okay, gotcha.
So we go 1, 2, 3. You know that.
Okay, gotcha. So you go from like, what do you don't do odd numbers? You do even numbers, or what's? How do you? Don't you have to go up and then back?
3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
You know, it's
Yeah,
boring.
but-
It's boring, but it gets the job
Stop
done.
showing off, John.
Yeah, I know.
Or sometimes we go like in
Numbers.
10s, 10, 20, 30. You know, it's pretty easy.
So thank you for helping us set up and look
No
somewhat
problem.
professional.
It's fun, you know. It's better than me in my basement
That's true. That's
looking like an idiot with all this shit that I don't need.
We've got a couple giveaways
Have
to
you ever
do.
watched-
Yes.
I know you guys had one, and then I have one that Maverick gave us. Both of them, neither one of us wanted to ship.
Yeah.
So those of you watching online, we love you, but yeah, you're not eligible. But how did we want to do this, John? I know
Yeah,
you've
so
got
our
one.
giveaway today. So yesterday Saturday at the table, every time somebody purchased something, we gave them a playing card.
Mhm.
And then we had this other deck, and if they came back with the right playing card today that we pulled this morning, they win this bear.
Oh crap! I forgot.
Yeah,
I think everybody did. That's the problem.
So it's this bear. It's this bear that I painted. Rich got
What am I
as a
gonna
gift
do
from
with that
someone
one
at some
playing
stage,
card now?
and nobody claimed it. So we
Gotcha.
had the card displayed all day. So what I thought to do was
Yeah.
I have a deck of cards here.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna shuffle them up. I can maybe pass them to anyone. You're from Nevada, surely you can shuffle cards.
Okay.
So we're gonna pass them
been a
around the
while,
crowd,
Don't look.
or maybe
Everybody
people
look
maybe
away while I
people
do
can
this.
come up, and the first person to pull.
Oh, he probably dropped the one we need on the ground.
Wow.
Yeah. Dork Layer's gonna walk around the crowd.
yeah.
And we can
Dorker
trust him.
walk around the crowd.
a
Exactly.
trustworthy
and
guy.
the first person to pull the joke, there's one Joker in it. You know, Joker. We like Joker. DC. You even like a bit of DC.
Sure,
Be
absolutely.
imitating for a
Pete's
little
gone,
longer
so
and
we're
drop the
okay.
deck.
Yeah. Can we jokerize the bear before we give it away?
I mean, yeah, but I don't have any paints, but you know, I'm sure
Okay.
somebody has paints. We
Okay.
could reopen the customizing studio and do it like
Gotcha.
that. The first person to pull the Joker gets the bear.
Okay.
And for your giveaway, I guess we can do a similar thing.
Sure.
What's your favorite card?
Ace of Spades.
Ace of Spades. So maybe
Yeah.
at the same time to make it efficient.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Ace of Spades wins Curtis. What price do you have?
So the price, you already showed your bear. This one is from Maverick. It is a stained glass four horsemen logo. So there you go. Thank you, Maverick. So yeah, there we go.
I'm just
Does anybody know how to shuffle? Because Joe is not him.
Give it to Ben.
just
Give it
shuffled
to
it.
Ben.
Shut
Yeah.
up.
But give it to them so he can do the thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's from Nevada. You would think he'd be better than that.
It's Nevada.
And appropriately, the deck has dragons on it as well. So, oh, look at this.
Was there?
We need a second camera just to see this wizardry.
He could shuffle and read,
Can we get
folks.
somebody else?
Yeah. I'm so special.
Yeah, just yeah. Exactly.
Till we get to the
Until you
Joker
get-
or Ace of Spades.
yeah.
So, well, while they do that, John, why don't you tell us a little bit, something that was memorable for you for this weekend?
Wow. I mean, I suppose, I spend the whole year doing the podcast with Rich and Mal, and
When Rich shows up.
yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, Curtis.
No problem. I gotcha.
So we talk once a week on the podcast. We do a recording online through StreamYard, like you're doing here with the live.
Right.
And so we live in 3 different places.
What we got? We got the Joker. Bear is yours. Come get it. Keep on going.
Hold on.
There you go. One gift away.
So I talked through a screen to my 2 buddies, one in Birmingham, one in Bristol. I'm in Luxembourg, and then I get to spend 5 days in America in the same room as them, as we make a bad job of the toilet and stuff like that.
Bad job of the toilet.
And
Okay.
and there's piles, and there's an ever-growing pile of Legions just in the corner every day.
Now, did you have to go through a session of taking them out of the packaging?
That's tomorrow morning.
Okay,
And
okay.
I've said this a few times, but
Stacy Lynn, 2 of my favorite Lyns. Yeah, happy early birthday. There you go. That is for you.
and congrats, Stacey.
I did forget to mention that we do have all 3 of the Lyns in the house, as well as the McCoys. I saw the Orkins earlier. I'm not sure if they're still here, but we got a lot of folks in here. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, John.
Yeah, so we're going to do the opening the packages tomorrow morning to get them in the suitcase. So I kind of had joked on the podcast that maybe I'm just going to record this, to see what people, what I suffer, what I have to listen to,
Yeah.
And I was thinking there's a very famous Beatles producer called Glyn Johns, and he's produced a lot of famous albums, and he came up with this technique for miking drums, right? It was on the last 2 Beatles albums, very famous technique. So I was thinking of, over Rich's bed, getting a couple of these arms and stuff and just really doing that technique so you get the proper sound. And then just releasing it as an episode.
Okay. Now, once Rich has emptied all these packages, I'm sure you guys find a nice way to dispose of them, right? You don't just leave them in the room for housekeeping, right?
Well, I just take $100 out of Rich's wallet and leave it for the cleaning. I mean, we don't tip in Europe, it's not a culture, but
Gotcha.
yeah.
But we got the metric system. Yeah.
That's why I leave her 100.
Gotcha.
No
Okay.
tipping, but bribery is okay.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it depends on the country.
£100, it makes $6.
No, it's the other way around.
Yeah, but that didn't work for the joke. Learn comedy.
Well, I obviously, that's Pete McCarthy for anybody listening at home.
I think they know.
Yeah, they do. We were at the My Wife Is Gonna Kill Me show last night. One of the questions that came up, we were doing a little Family Feud thing.
Family fortunes in
yeah.
metric land?
Yeah, they were asking, what do you spend your money on when you're not spending it on toys?
Yeah.
And we got a chance to steal. Unfortunately, the other fellas decided that they wanted to say your wives, which I mean, keep in mind they surveyed the support group.
Yeah.
Right. The my wife was gonna kill me support group. Ain't none of them fuckers spending money on their wives. No. Okay. My answer was gonna be, if you're not spending it on my wife is gonna kill me, Patreon, you should be spending it on the Your Allegiance Patreon, the best Patreon going.
Thank you.
Right? You guys got a Discord, you get giveaways, right? All kinds of good stuff.
Lackluster podcast that's prepared and perform in a lobby because you're not good enough for a room.
I did not expect 2 years to get my pins mailed to me, just saying something.
Okay, all right. But we love those guys anyway. Yeah, but that wasn't on there either. So there's a bunch of other stuff. So
It's a
exactly. All right. Well, Joe, let me get back to you, because I know you. This, once again, first LegionsCon. Hit me with another memorable moment from the weekend.
Yeah, there was a mind-blowing moment where I on Saturday morning, when I first walked into the room where everything was being sold, and Curtis says, "Come with me right now," and runs off. And I thought he needed help.
I didn't really run. I don't run, people. So just so you know, I might have moved briskly, but that's about as fast as I go. But go ahead.
You wouldn't have known. The people that are watching aren't
They're all
here.
thinking it. They're like, "There's no way that fucker ran." So I just wanted to clear the air. All right, go
We have
ahead.
a live audience here, you know.
Yeah.
So I was trying to help you out, buddy, but okay.
Gotcha.
So, and I follow Curtis, and he walks around the corner of the Wolf King display and does a big flourish with his arm, and they named a God's Fire piece after me. And
Yeah.
I just totally unexpected, and again, I've used the word surreal probably 1,000 times this weekend, but that was an incredible moment. I completely blown away, and then Emil, with a shitty grin on his face, says, "Steven's gonna write you into the lore," and then I just wanted to lay down on the floor because I don't even know how to process that. So, yeah, it was an incredible moment for me, completely unexpected. I don't know if I deserve it or not, but I appreciate it either way. So yeah, that was.
And
just
you
seriously-
mentioned Stephen, and I just see him there, and I mean, he's up after his bedtime 2 nights in a row.
That
Yeah,
was
I
Deputy
know.
Orkin a minute ago. We have a changeling, folks. What is
going on?
going
What's going on,
on?
Pete?
In fairness, yes.
Steve is up at
Steven did stay up
after his
last
bedtime
night.
2 nights in a row.
Yeah, he did stay up last night, but then this morning, after we started the show, he had to go down and lay down for a little bit. He was tired from his push-ups with Joe Russo on his back last night.
Okay.
So,
That happened. I
That's
thought.
why Dave
Yeah.
Williams was sitting at the desk on his own, right?
so yeah, I mean, that was awesome. Not only you, but also Kent. Both of you got,
Oh yeah, Kent
kinda
was there too.
yeah, tribute figures in the God's Fire series.
You asked what was a moment for me, not what
I
a
know,
moment for Kent.
I know, I was just tacking on to it.
You're trying to make
because-
me look bad. I know
Well,
what you're
there were
doing.
2 parts. So there was it was a set they were selling this weekend, and there was a good character,
Yeah,
Kent,
right.
and then there was a very evil character that was like stabs people, and that was Joe Gonsalves, right? So I just wanted to make sure people knew the 2 sides of the coin.
I was gonna leave that part out. Thank you.
Gotcha. But yeah, that was awesome. That was really cool. And then I know for the display, Len had printed up these massive head sculpts of that, the work that Emil did, and he let you guys take those with you.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have to take it on an airplane, so
Yeah.
we'll pray that it
And,
survives.
and
but
yours has the really big pointy horns, and
yeah.
they're gonna think it's a weapon.
Does it fit in your luggage?
I don't know yet.
He's
I
gonna
mean,
I feel you. I feel you.
he's gonna carry it on like a baby.
it is wrap it in my dirty underwear. It's the only thing I have that's soft.
Can we add that to the lore? Can it be in there?
I don't know.
Well, I guess I'll throw out another one then. So today was the 1,000 swigs, which
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
turned out to really be 250 swigs,
Still
which
impressive.
it was very impressive. It was, a huge collection of very creative, talented artists doing crazy things. I mean, this was not like, people, just, I don't know, painted a couple dots and did some dry brushing. I mean, there were some wild things in there, like just wild customs. And you know, they did some giveaways. We were waiting on Jeremy because Jeremy was down here talking about the dragon. It's so special. And you know, even though the swig thing was scheduled by him at 1 o'clock, so while we were waiting and they gave out the prizes, I decided to give away one of the custom that I did, which was the cosmic swig that I put together, which ended up going to Eric Miller's kid, which is awesome.
Oh, wow.
And you know, Trevor didn't want to be outdone by my generosity, so he's like, well, I'll give out something then too, and mine will be better because I'm going to do a photo shoot of somebody's custom, whoever's name that I draw. And then he drew my name. So that was,
you were super happy, I guess.
I was very happy. So my little custom will be done with professional photography by Trevor Williams. And if he has any balls in the world, he will put blue lights all over that motherfucker.
And it'll be an exclusive print at your booth next year.
Yeah, and then once he's done with it, then it'll go off to Eric Miller. So, awesome. And also Kevin, he decided to do 2 because he doesn't like me. So he pulled another name, and Kevin Boots was the other one who was going to get
He's also a photographer.
Yeah, that's what he said too. He's like, you can take your own picture. So I don't know. Trevor, fake generosity.
Curtis was so excited. I walked in and Curtis goes, "Did you hear what happened?"
Yeah, I did have goosebumps. I mean,
thought somebody died. I was like, "No, what?"
We know him as
he
just
told me
Trevor,
that
but he is still the photographer for these figures.
he's
but,
awesome.
You know.
Like he's not here, right? I don't want him to get a big head. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm like the worst photographer in the world. So just having one of my customs being, you know, photographed by him is like the hugest honor in the world.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see what he does with it. So yeah. Anything else you want to hit us with?
No,
Get some prizes. You want to promote your show or anything? I didn't give that a chance that my wife was going to kill me, guys. But
I mean, either you like it or you don't, you know.
okay, gotcha. When's Elijah Baker joining the crew? Is that happening soon?
No. We have a tight knit group, you know.
Yeah, because
is
it because he's too sexy? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You think he's going to take all the attention
Probably
away?
has too much hair.
I
have all the hair in the podcast.
Yeah, I see what it is. You want to. I saw your little shirt where you had like hair down to your shoulders and stuff. Yeah.
Well, that was when I was 20. But,
Gotcha.
you know, I grew out of that.
So 5 years ago. Yeah.
I wish. But like our show it's not really set up to have guests in a way. I mean, we have guests coming up to LegionsCon.
Yeah.
I think it mostly works best with the 3 of us. Because we just go off on a bit of tangents sometimes, a bit like you guys in My Wife's Gonna Kill Me, you know.
You know they actually talked toys yesterday?
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
That was the boring bit. And
Where did this show come from?
I nudged Malin. I said, do you think 5 minutes into our chat on the dragon, we'd be talking about sexual stuff? Unrelated to the dragon, I might say.
Totally unrelated. So
it went off. But I mean, that's what we expect from them. That's their niche. When we started the podcast, the first thing I said to the guys is, we're not going to be a crap version of My Wife Is Going to Kill Me. We're going to be our own thing. Whatever that may be, we'll find out. But, you know, we're definitely not going to just be a crap imitation of a good show. Well, yeah, you can, it's your right to devolve into being bad or being better, you know, it depends, you know. And,
Gotcha.
You know, every episode is an adventure. Some are good, some are bad. You know, some of the episodes that when they're done and I think they're all not great and they get great feedback, and some of them are like, I'm like, oh my God, that's the best episode we ever did. And it's like tumbleweed. So I don't even know what people like, but I know what I like. And
that's the metric system.
Yeah.
Right? And your Celsius. Celsius.
0 is freezing. I mean, this is how hard is that? You know, then you know it's cold. 0 is freezing.
32. Same thing.
32. That's when we go to
I
30.
don't know how you crazy people get by measuring your horses, not using your hands.
Who needs to measure a horse? Ever.
All right. Well, John, we appreciate the giveaway. We
Thank you.
appreciate all the equipment.
Thank you.
Tune into Your Allegiance podcast. Subscribe to their Patreon. It really is a good one, unlike these other guys. But we love it. We just give them money because we love them. We give these guys money because they give us something back.
It's just that, you know, it's despite the fact that we try and be professional, it's just a hobby. It's just a fun thing.
Yep.
It allows us to be here, to do shirts, that kind of stuff. That's what it's about.
Shirts.
It's not
You
about
hear that? Shirts. Just
know,
throwing that.
Shirts are all delivered. So you
know.
get a new joke, Chris.
you know,
And not the normal joke you do. It's like, showing up on everybody's podcast.
yeah.
Says the guy that's been on every show this week.
Boom, bro.
No, it's enabled. It's enabled. All right. Well, thank you, John. We really appreciate it. Yeah.
I'm gonna go and shake hands with the
You
unemployed.
gonna go find all the other cards?
No, I got them all back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
good,
think.
good,
I
good.
don't-
Gotcha.
I'm not gonna
Seemed-
use these.
seemed a little light.
These have been in the cupboard for.
All right.
How
Well,
many is in a deck anyway?
And metric 47.
Wow.
next, I want to bring on somebody that was really close to me all weekend. Shared a table, and that is Tanya McCoy. Tanya, come on up. So, Tanya, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. That was a great show Thursday night.
It was a great show Thursday night.
It's
It
pretty
was
awesome.
was the first one that we've ever done that was live, and I didn't know what to expect, and my anxiety level was about here, because I'm always like prepared. I have questions. I know exactly what's going to happen, and I had no idea what was going to happen for the show, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't know where to
That's
go.
our show every week. If anybody's watched OffWorld, like 5 minutes to live, are we going to talk about something? Nah, we'll figure it out.
Jeff hasn't made the promo pick yet.
Yeah.
It's a done man.
So my anxiety was up here, and I get out, or Pete gets off the elevator and comes up, and he says, I know I saw you last year, but we weren't officially met. He said, I'm Pete McCarthy. And I said, I know who you are. I'm Tanya McCoy. and I was like, so we have a show at 7:30. Are you going to come? He said, the only way I'm going to come is if I come on the show. I'm like, all right.
How did he spell that? Just get it in writing next time. All right. So
Worried about how things go, you bring on the wild that's right to their anxiety.
And then I was laughing so hard for the first how many ever minutes he was on that I just forgot to be anxious.
yeah, and then Amber woke up for the show.
It was
That was crazy, wasn't it? like all of a sudden we're like, who's this chick? Has she been here the whole time? What are you going? So unlike the other folks that have gone up here, where I've asked them give me a memorable moment, I'm gonna hit you with some from this weekend, and I'm gonna have you pick one out because I witnessed quite a few for you. Starting with just being able to hang out at LegionsCon with your husband. There's one right there, right? Making it through and just spending time and seeing all the different things from G-Con all the way through. You became best friends with Robo, right?
I became best friends with Robo.
Right. You had the live show.
The live show.
You got intern. You got to display and show off and even sell your first customs, right? And you had a pretty lengthy conversation with Mr. Eric Treadaway about your customizing.
I did.
So that's a big weekend.
I've had probably one of the best weeks of my entire life.
So can you, is out of all of that, and you can't say Kevin because it's too mushy. What is like the standout, like, man, you just didn't think that was going to happen thing?
I sold 2 customs.
Yeah.
So, in the show on Thursday night, I said, I'm going to have my customs there. But, and if somebody comes up to me and wants my custom and they offer me like more than, what I would love my custom, like, you got to really pay for my customs because I love my customs. I mean, I really love them.
I loved the way that you put that because I've never heard it put that way, but that it makes sense because there's a lot of different prices on customs,
Right.
and there's different things to consider. How, what kind of parts did you use? How long did it take? But there's also this attachment to the art that you created,
Right.
and how much you love it. And you said on your show, like, if somebody loves it more than I do, then I'll sell it to them. But they have to really love it because I really love it, right?
I really love, like, they're my first customs, and I put my heart and soul into them. And, my first 4 customs were tributes to teams that I love. And so those mean a lot to me. I mean, like, it would cost thousands of dollars to get those because of how much they mean to me. But, my first true custom, something that was in my head that I thought about and produced and actually did, was Sky. And she was my pixie. And it was the first true female face that I did. It was the one that the eyes were freaking amazing on. And I just loved her. And so, when he said what he would offer, and I cannot say no to that offer. And so I sold her, and I cried, guys. I cried. I mean, it was not only one of the most amazing things, but it was also one of the most emotional things, is to allow my first customs to be sold. The other one that was sold at the same time was one that I did for my son. Now, you should have been on that phone call. Hey, Logan, I love you. You know that custom I did for you, baby? Just sold it. I mean, that's my boy. So that was an interesting conversation, to say the least. But anyway, so it was very emotional for me.
So what you're saying is you can put a price on them? And it's more than $350.
So, but it really was, I mean, as emotional as it was to sell, and having, thought about it overnight and then, all day today, I mean, it is also gratifying to know that someone admires and loves the work that you put into something that much.
Yeah.
To show that the art that is created is not only loved and enjoyed by yourself, but also other people love and enjoy it too, and want to pay you for your work. And to me, that is probably one of the one core memory that will stay with me forever.
And she has been customizing for less than a year.
Started in February.
Let's hear it, folks. Come on. And then you were one of the artists in the customizing studio Friday night.
I was. That was so surreal.
Yeah.
To me,
Did Maverick put you down?
I had a table myself.
I'm the only one. Just me.
So to sit there at the customizing studio, and most of the customizers there at my table were veteran customizers. They came in, they sat down, they knew what they were going to do, they knew how to paint, they knew all the stuff. And it was kind of like being in the customizing studio, where everybody was kind of talking about different things, but then they were also painting. Like, you saw the foreheads of everybody. They're all looking down and painting, like you're not really looking at each other's eyes. So it truly reminded me of being in the customizing studio. But then we had one person that, painted a long time ago and hadn't really painted in a long time. And so I was able to kind of show them how I do certain things, how I paint and then, highlight and then make it look, a little bit with dimension and stuff. And so that was a really cool thing to be able to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I am so glad that you came. I'm so glad that you and Kevin had an amazing. It was awesome hanging out with the two of you the whole time. And you know, I know there's a good chance you'll probably have your own table next year. But if you don't, I would love to have you guys back because you guys were awesome to hang out with.
Well, if we have our own table, it will be a full Legions ladies table, which I'm super excited about. But if we don't have our table back, I will be honored to have a table with you and Darla, because y'all are two of my favorite people.
Dirtis, Carla. Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Yeah, awesome. And if you want to hang out with Tanya some more, see us in the customizing studio Sundays, 1 p.m.
That's right.
So-
And Legions ladies
Oh,
live.
what are you guys, like 15 away now?
15 people come
15
on.
subscribers
15
away.
Subscribers.
Go to-
And I've got a box full of giveaways. Come on. 15 subscribers. You can do
There you go. Subscribe, folks.
it.
Van? Oh no, that was Pete. All right, we got a super chat here. Kevin Boots, miss all my friends already. Can't wait for LegionsCon 2025. I feel like that's going to be a pretty common sentiment there. So
Yes,
Super
yes,
fun
yes.
having-
Yeah.
hanging out with Kevin.
It was awesome.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much. Appreciate
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah.
I never hear you say nice things about people buying your customs like that. What was the word you used? Suckers?
I don't.
These suckers are willing to buy my work.
Something like that. No, I
No,
never would say
I'm
that.
kidding. It's a joke.
Another person that I got to spend a little bit of time with this weekend, as my neighbor, who's been my neighbor for a couple years in a row now. And I give him a lot of shit. I really do.
What?
Yeah, I mean,
No.
that's my love language. You can ask
Is that
Darla.
what you call it?
Yeah, if I give you shit, it means I really love you. And I give this guy a lot of shit.
See, the other people don't say it's a love language.
I know.
They use a different word.
I know, but they hang around anyways because they know deep down I love them. I want to bring up Emil Wickman to the stage. The amazing, talented, beautiful, lovely. Get over here.
Guy that you give shit.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yes. It was nice nice seeing you hanging out.
It was great seeing you.
Yeah. You have a good Legions con?
Seeing you from a distance.
Yeah.
Before you're close enough to speak.
we could all wave to each
Yeah,
other.
you said you tried to make him cry. Is that true?
I was pretty close.
I made it just, you know,
You just made him cry.
it just happened. You know?
Look me in the eye.
Oh, like,
Supposed to do-
you're not crying. Horrible. No.
So, tell us a little bit about this whole, Kent and Joe thing that you guys had going on and what was going on with the Wolf King table. Because I know Len kept it a secret all the way up until the end. Like he didn't want to tell anybody what he was doing. So
It's still a secret. I still don't know
Yeah.
what happened.
yeah, exactly. So tell us a little bit about how this came together.
Well, I mean, Joe had a big part in encouraging me and Steven to get back at doing our storyline of the God's Fire Templars, and we thought it was, it would be fun to give him something back for everything that he puts in to kind of show how much his encouragement means to us, because it's kind of hard to express that, when
Steven's not even watching.
he's not
He's
watching.
looking
But
at his phone.
In fairness, he just super chatted. $4.99 super chat. Didn't say anything.
It's not my channel. I don't care.
He didn't say anything, but it is a super chat. So I don't. Okay. Well, I tell you what, we're here. What you got? Something to say? Go ahead.
He just has giant thumbs. It was a mistake.
He meant to send $49.99, folks. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, we'll wait for it.
just want to make sure that he can interrupt you whenever he wants to.
For sure.
I'm just okay.
Listen. I've done it to their show a million times.
I know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it doesn't make it less rude just because you're making it. Really doesn't. It's not like I can decide when I can interrupt
But
someone.
they really like money.
They don't.
They do.
Not that much, really, but they smile. They're good at pretending. Thanks, Curtis, for the money. It's like, but shh. No, they look pretty,
In Sweden, are the super chats very polite?
I've stopped
using super chats because when I super chat, it turns up in Swedish, and everyone's like, "What the beep 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 beep? What does this mean? Beep beep beep. It's like something beep beep beep." And I'm like,
What's that, like $2?
I just want to give something, and so I'm like, I haven't given the super chat in far because that's the comment Pete always gives. It's like, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll translate that to dollar someday. Until then.
All right. Kent and Joe.
Yes, Kent and Joe. So it was nice to figure out we wanted to do something with the God's Fire storyline. Don't go into much details about that, but wouldn't it be cool to make some cool, more exclusive set for LegionsCon? So we went back in their storyline and figured out, okay, 2 very important characters. Would be nice to name them after Kent and Joe, without telling them, of course. Because that's not as fun.
Let's
Right.
just give Joe an aneurysm at LegionsCon. That
Yeah.
would be a hoot.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you almost cried. Kent almost cried.
Kent had to go
That's
back
not
to
a
the room.
goal. That's
Yeah.
not why you do something. Like, I want to be kind to you so you can cry.
can't wait to make
Yeah, so
them
you
guys
that's
cry.
No, that's not it. But
You need the curly mustache. That's evil.
Walter Hagen, everybody. All right, so you made him cry, and
well, I named one of them. Me and the guy who's tying to text. We named one of the characters after Joe.
okay.
Like Gonsalves. Okay, he's interrupted. I can see. Yeah, he interrupted. There's the super chat he used.
So I think he's putting this as if I'm saying this. So it's and next I'd like to invite up my idol, the best custom painter and customizer I've ever seen, the Lord, the breaker of chains, Lord Stephen Bishotti. We have to scoot in. We have to scoot all in there. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh,
Thanks for inviting me up.
You're gonna have to scoot in real close to Emil.
This was my whole flight from Nevada.
I like how we went like, skinny big.
that's
All right.
that's not nice.
Steven, I brought you up here to ask you, what did I bring up to you to ask you?
I don't know. You're the one that asked me.
Okay. tell us a little bit about these 2 characters, Kent and Joe, in the God's Fire series.
I'll tell you what. These characters were dear to my heart. I envisioned them when I was about 6 years old. I was in a comic book shop and I saw Spider-Man issue 464. And on page 6, there was a guy in there that looked just like Joe Gonsalves.
Wow.
And I never forgot that, even though I didn't know him yet. And so when we decided this idea to do this God's Fire and pick 2 people, I immediately said, we got to do Joe Gonsalves, Ken Matzinger, just because Ken's there. Or Ken
This is going really well.
and then
God's fire never dies.
Woo! So just name one for Ken because he's there.
And so I immediately called Emil and I said, look, I know you don't like to do this stuff because Emil's a hard ass. And I was like, I know you don't like to do this stuff, but I would really like to do something.
Squats, folks. That's his rear end.
I wanted to do something heartfelt because I'm emotional. And it's just, I just wanted to give back to the community. So I said, Emil, can you do anything? He's like, no, I'm busy, Steve. And I'm like, just come on, what are you doing right now? I'm doing this thing with Nate Strong. It's a children's book and it's going to change the world. And I'm like, Emil, and I'm like, come on, let's do something for LegionsCon. And he said, I don't know what he swore at me in his language, Scheitzer or whatever it is. And then in the end, he threw some shit together, and there you go. There's the parts. Awesome, though. Awesome. Everything turned out great, though, even though it was kind of last minute. It's all this guy right here.
That was super heartfelt.
Even if that isn't the truth, it's the new truth.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I had nothing to do with it. No, not really.
Great sculpts, though.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Did you do them as well? Yeah. Yeah, Steven actually made it. And he was like, I feel inspired. So he was like, I'm going to crack these so out. You say, crank these out. I'm going to make these. And you're not. So we made them.
Okay. So, God's fire is not dead.
Well, it is now.
Yeah, this was a goodbye, swan song. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I talked to Lynn earlier. It sounded like it was well received.
Well, I actually heard someone about the spoils thing because me, Steven, and Len, we had this really, secret. And we involved Curtis a little bit, like, we were afraid that something would happen. That almost happened. And that's like, okay, so Curtis, we're doing this thing. Okay, that sounds good. And then he said other things that we're not, it's not super chat, so we're not including it. But Friday, Kent comes to me. So Curtis told me that I should come to him right after I've been to the Wolf King booth. Yeah?
I did say that.
Yeah. So
That's
I'm just
after.
gonna see something at the Wolf King booth and then I'm gonna go to Curtis. Like, did he actually spoil it the day before? I was like, and you did.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
No,
It was not supposed to go to you.
I didn't tell him what it was.
No. Just go straight to Curtis.
Why didn't you
Go
say
straight to
anything
Curtis.
me?
See this thing that Steven and Emil has done, and then go straight to Curtis. Like, yeah. Curtis like, yeah, I did this thing. It was my idea.
I'm a co-host. Well, sidekick. But still, you didn't say anything to me.
You actually didn't say anything to Joe. You went to
No.
Kent.
Yes.
First off, when Joe came in, he went and had a meal with other people. Not you, a meal. Like he ate food with other people. And then he left. I didn't see him the whole night. Like he was avoiding me. So I didn't have a chance to talk to Joe. So that's number one.
Oh, okay, he got
Number
me.
one.
Yeah.
Number two, you and Len were the only ones that I was able to talk to about this thing, and I had to make 2 customs that I poured my heart into making, and I wasn't allowed to show anybody. And I was itching. I didn't spoil anything. I just said after it's been revealed, after you know what's going on, then come talk to me.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's good.
I didn't say anything about it.
No.
So, yeah. I even
you didn't.
I even asked Lynn. I was like, "Can I?" Because Jesse and I were showing the stuff that we were going to have at LegionsCon. I was like, "Can I show it if I blur out all the parts?" No. Can I talk to anybody? Can I talk to the other people that are paying? No. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Killing me. Yeah. Thank you, Emil.
Killing me softly with his song.
Yeah. No, we're not.
But it was fun. They're
Yeah.
great parts, by the way. You did a great job sculpting.
Thanks,
Did
Steven.
Steven? One of you guys did a great job
Yeah.
sculpting them.
Thanks, Steven.
Yeah.
My name is on it. Buy it, please.
There you go. There you go. Cool. Well, while we got you guys up here, why don't you guys hit us with a memorable moment from the week for you?
Want me to go first?
Sure.
Memorable moment. There's so many.
Mm-hmm.
There's children looking up at me like I'm some sort of hero. Me being able to influence, next generation and stuff. And then I realizing my fly is down, which is weird because they're down, they're only they're right at that level. And then you're like, oh my, how could I have screwed this up? But then the biggest thing I think was the My Wife's Gonna Kill Me live show last night. I thought that was an amazing time. I laughed my butt off. Everybody else that was there seemed to be laughing their butts off. Great community where we were all beating each other up and making jokes with each other, kind of roasting everybody. Pete was on his game. There's one time a year we need Pete McCarthy, and it's Saturday night of LegionsCon. Other than that, I could take or leave. Well, actually, I don't even like him. But that night, in that moment, I'm like, yeah, I kind of admit he's okay. And we had a great game show, and I just, I think that was the best night of my life. Definitely better than when my second daughter was born. Maybe not my first. I like the second one. First one's kind of weird. So yeah, My Wife's Gonna Kill Me live show.
All right. That was a good one. It was a lot of fun, for sure. Absolutely. And Old Man Kyle killed.
Old Man Kyle killed.
Yeah.
He did it. He
So
did.
good.
He killed last year. He killed this year. Next year, if you weren't there and you're not easily offended, you should come.
Yeah, The only thing I would maybe advise is like some lyric sheets for some of the songs. Or something,
No, the
you know?
song is
Maybe-
"We Are a Dumpster Fire," and you expect us to
No, I
sing
mean
it
like
right.
the two that you've done for like a couple years in a row, but nobody knows the fucking words. Maybe those, like, yeah.
It was a request, and there was no
Gotcha.
plans to do those things, and we still had fun.
Gotcha. Okay.
Plus, we got to hear Maverick sing.
That was funny. I do have a couple super chats here. One is from Uncle Bob and Aunt Shelly. He says Aunt Shelly wants to thank you for the awesome custom Undead Pirate. She loves it. Thank you very much. And I'm supposed to say nice things because they bought something from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice things because you bought something from me. Yeah. Also, I will see you tomorrow, Uncle Bob, at his toy shop on the way home. So looking forward to it.
Nice.
And then Van has this one here. He wants you to read whatever this is, Emil. I don't know.
I don't have my glasses on,
Yeah.
so I'm sorry.
You want me to try it?
I'll
I
do
don't
it.
think it's possible. No,
Yeah, go ahead.
please, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it.
No, you don't read that.
Why?
No, because YouTube is international, so it's not. Yeah, you can't. No, don't. Please.
Do your best, Steve.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Was that close?
Yeah.
How can you say that it was pretty good? You don't.
Was that,
I mean, it looks
You're
just
like,
like it.
you're like talking trash about me, and then he gets that. That was good. Good Swedish, Stephen. Yeah, that was excellent. Yeah, you did a
Trying to
good job.
encourage him.
Compliment.
I'm just trying to encourage him. All right. And then we got one more from Matt Stein. I'm going to sleep. Please keep it down. Love you all.
Good, man.
And can't till next year. All right.
Matt, no promises.
What about you, Emil? Memorable moment of the week.
There are like a million different memorable moments. The first that comes to mind right now is actually something that you already talked about, and that is seeing Tanya having sold her customs and seeing that smile on her face and seeing that. So that is one of the excellent moments that
I'm changing it. That's mine too.
Did it remind you of when you fell in love with capitalism?
It did not.
Gotcha.
You actually said that was you said the game. I mean, after the show yesterday. No, yesterday. Yesterday.
Show was yesterday.
Yes.
And he like, did you laugh, Emil? Were you there? Yes, I was there. Did you laugh at me? Did you find it funny? And like, yeah.
It made me happy to know
It made me happy seeing
he
how
liked
happy
me.
you were. Did you laugh? Yeah. Sorry, yeah. But that moment, so I had to remind Tanya a couple of times today, like, I heard about this woman who just sold something over here. I was like, yeah, that was a really nice one.
It was pretty cool.
There are a million more, but we're gonna have to,
I do remember a moment where I was showing you some of the great Christmas gifts that Darla gives me, where she puts these photo albums together for LegionsCon, right? And she takes all these photos that, some that I take, but I don't take a whole lot. Mostly it comes from Cullen, because he takes about 5,000 photos every LegionsCon. She just steals it from him and puts it in a book, like she came up with it. But you were going through that, and I think
you just
didn't.
They were on my table. You tricked me.
Yeah, and what did you think about those books? Did you have any kind of emotions come over you as you were?
I mean, I like Darla, but I mean,
gotcha. You didn't just have just feelings of love for me, and realize that you're gonna miss me for the next 12 months, unless you come to MesquiteCon.
what kind of podcast is this?
I was wondering.
It was really hard. And, suddenly my eyes started, filling up with stuff. I don't know.
Allergies.
No, I don't know. But I was like, in that picture, those guys are hugging, and those guys, and then there were female huggings as well, and it's like mostly male people hugging. And it's like, and after a while, I was like, I couldn't, I just almost threw the books back at you, like, look more, you like this? You're like, we're supposed to be cool here, aren't we? Right? It's like, yeah, I still haven't finished looking in them.
Emotional torture.
Yeah, thank you for that.
No problem.
So, giving a shit and torturing me emotionally. Good stuff to show love. Thank you for that. You and Steven have a lot of things in common.
love you, Emil.
I don't see it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
In fact,
Yeah.
I gotta go. Thanks for inviting me out.
No
but
problem.
I got places I gotta be.
That's all right. We got to get more guests up here, but I appreciate you both coming up here.
Thank you so much.
But I do have to give a genuine, heartfelt thanks to these two guys for what they did. I appreciate it so much. So thank you guys.
Yeah. Next, we're kind of in a mode here where I'm talking to people that I give a lot of shit to. There's really only one person besides Darla that I give more shit to than Emil. And that is Trevor Williams. So I'd like to bring up the two Trevors. Can I get the two Trevors up here? Both Trevors. Let's get them. Yeah. How's it going?
Here. Good. How are you?
We are excellent.
Sorry.
It looks like a Perry troll.
Hi. It's my good friend Curtis.
So
Once a year, we're
No
best
one's hugging
friends.
me. Yeah.
that's why I put you on the
Yeah,
inside.
thanks, Chris.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah. Handshake.
You got a custom this week. Get out of here. You got a you're in God's fire.
okay.
Yeah. Oh wow. You got a legend daddy hug.
There we go.
All right. Legend daddies. So I was talking earlier. You weren't here, but I was talking about how honored.
I don't watch the show.
I know, I don't either. I was talking about how honored I am that you're going to be photographing one of my customs.
It's how fateful is that, man? Like that's
Yeah.
just unreal.
Um,
a bowl full of tickets, and I pull your name.
That's true. That's
Unreal.
true. I also told the audience that if you had any balls whatsoever, you'd put blue lights all
Oh,
over
it's
that.
gonna
son
be
of
fucking.
A blue light special.
It's gonna be like,
It's gonna look like Kmart, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
peacock blue everywhere, man. I don't even know what color your swig is, but it's gonna be blue.
Okay, gotcha. Keep in mind that it's going to Eric Miller's daughter when it's done, so you might want to,
Well, that's your fault.
Okay.
You can apologize to her.
Well, then I'm gonna go to the other Trevor because he's a little nicer.
You think? Just had a few
Nate,
drinks in him.
aka Trevor too. You had a little book out there this year with Emil. And I saw you guys doing a lot of signings. What was your thoughts to the response that you got on the book here? Not only here, but also beforehand. I know you guys presented it a month or two back, and it's been online. And then you had the sales here. But tell us, kind of what you thought about the response.
The support has been amazing. It's been I just keep telling people that the backstory on it, for those who might not know, I wrote this over 20 years ago, and it just kind of sat there, and it took until this toy line and this community to bring Emil and I together, and then to have this community to kick it off within, and to get that support, it's been incredible. I couldn't have asked for a better way to start this with a better partner. Yeah, it's been amazing. Yep.
And did you think that book was going to drive a wedge between Emil and Steven?
I was hoping it would, because
That was the goal, right?
it's kind of gross. Yeah.
What's up, Big Rick? What's going on? Yeah. All right. Well, Nate, let's hit you up. Memorable moment of the week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, one of them?
Yeah. There you go.
Boy. I think it circles kind of back to the book, and it was when the first time that Emil was signing it to the first person, and that we were going to be able to do that together. That was a highlight for sure. And then the very last book, because we ended up selling out of the ones we brought. That was a good feeling.
Still available on Amazon, correct?
Available on Amazon. Yep.
Very
Make
good.
for a great Christmas gift.
There you go.
Yes.
So Trevor, this Trevor.
Yeah.
Kind of why we like doing this show the way that we do is, number one, it gives us some excitement just hearing all these great memories, but it also, I think, helps the people lock in their own memories that they're going to hold with them for the next 12 months leading to the next LegionsCon. So keeping that in mind, like, what is something that you're going to make sure to take with you from this week and just lock it in to make it through the next 12 months until we see each other again?
Oh, that's not the question I thought you were gonna ask me.
Sometimes they're serious.
Yeah, jeez, it's really deep, man.
That's
I'm
what
gonna
she said.
lock in. What am I gonna lock in? I don't know. Like there was a lot of amazing. I'm gonna turn it around and just answer a different question like a politician. But like there was
Sounds
a
good.
lot of amazing things.
Mhm.
There was a lot of firsts this year. Like this guy right here making it here. I was so happy to see him. He got to play the Mythic Legions D&D game, which we're gonna be play. We've been playing in Mythic Legions D&D game, but it was just like it was pitch perfect. He's not here, but Robo being here, and I talked to Robo at the end of the day today, and I said, "Are you coming back?" And he's like, "Dude," he's like, "Yeah." He said if there was one con that he was gonna come to, if he could only go to one con, it would be this one next year, which is freaking amazing because I mean but he's Robo, like he goes everywhere, and it was cool. He had such a great time, and so just seeing a lot of new people here and seeing their reaction to it, not because again we try to explain it, and I tried to explain it Robo when he was on the show, like it's different, man. You're gonna it's a whole different experience than just going to San Diego Comic-Con or New York Comic-Con and then going home or whatever, going to your hotel. But and it's true. Like, so I can't wait to see more new people, I guess, to answer your question. Like next year, that's going to be to see people who aren't here this year. Next year, it's going to be great.
Speaking of things that are kind of unique about this community, earlier today, you walk upstairs and you see the swigs on the table.
That was my next thing. Go ahead. Yep.
To just as you looked across it, you saw all the different versions that people had done, right? And it's not just minor pop and swaps and things like that. There were some crazy
People went
things.
nuts.
There were some crazy things. And you've been around toy communities and for a long time. Like, have you ever seen anything like that? And can you kind of just describe what your thoughts were as you looked across that table and saw all the different things?
Yeah, first of all, I've never seen anything like. I assume it like a designer con or something. You might see like the vinyl toys or something painted by artists. Where people go with almost like a museum. But this is community based. Everybody like brought their A game, man. There was so much creativity there. It was incredible. I had a picture in my mind of what I was going to see. And picturing a lot of them, but like even though there wasn't 1,000, there was like 250 or more than 250, I think. What was the final count? Do you know?
They said they think it was somewhere over 250 because I guess there were some tickets that didn't get counted or something. But yeah,
but it
around
looked like 1,000, man. It looked incredible.
It was the largest collection of any single character that I've ever seen.
We should try for a world record.
That would be good.
Then we should actually look into that. But it was wild, man. Everybody brought their A game. It was cool. Even the people who kept it in package, that was cool. Hedgehog Actions, DJ Swig was fantastic. Richard Simmons Swig, which I assume is Vans.
Why would you think that?
I don't know. But yeah, it was wild, man. It kind of blew my mind because I knew what to expect, but it was completely different. It was wild.
So I want to turn to Joe because we've been talking to Trevor now for about 10 minutes and he hasn't died yet. What do you think about that?
Wait,
Well,
let me cast Fireball and see what happens.
In a minute, that troll is gonna fall over on him.
Oh Jesus! Don't say that. You don't know what I paid for that thing.
Trevor will just slide under the table, and that'll be it.
That'll be it.
That was a Legion's
Land
Quest
hands.
joke, by the way, in case
Watch
you guys
Legion's
didn't
Quest,
know.
please.
Yeah.
Watch Legion's
We're
Quest.
10 episodes in. If you haven't watched it or listened to it, you got time to catch up because we have no idea when we're playing again. Right?
No,
That's the
yeah.
thing. 2 weeks. It's D&D.
Yeah, maybe.
We
We'll see.
will-
We'll see.
It's a real D&D thing, like scheduling issues, like a die 20 scheduling issues. Those are like
Yeah, bro.
classic
Yeah, you have to
D&D
you have to
things.
roll 18 or above to
You
get
should be able
get
to
everybody
play the
together at
game,
one
yeah.
time. Yeah, on a night that they can do
So,
it.
Gotcha.
I mean, that part is tough, but every episode has been fantastic. These guys are super entertaining. It didn't take them very long to gel as a unit. They go unconscious occasionally. Technically, Trevor's never died.
Yeah.
Right,
You're just resting. You're just resting.
Right,
But it
right.
happens
Yeah.
every
I'm pining
episode
for
that has a
Fjord, if
battle in
anybody
it.
knows what that is.
Deep
Yeah.
sleep.
Right.
Beautiful.
But it's a good time, and I love it.
It's a great time. You're a great
Well,
DM, and it's
Awesome
a lot of
DM.
fun, man.
I just want to say,
Also, I made 12 swigs.
yeah,
Yeah.
you did,
Yeah.
and you brought them. You were talking about only bringing one. You
So-
brought, yeah,
So let's take a peek behind the curtain.
yeah. Go ahead.
So when Terrence did that thing to register your swig,
Yeah,
I had made mini swigs,
Correct.
and I thought it would be
Because you were gonna
funny.
have him invade all the factions.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was like, it'd be funny if I said I was just bringing one. So I just put one on there to register, and then of course everybody's like, "You have to bring them all," and then it was like, "I don't have to do anything." I said I'm bringing one, but I was gonna bring all the custom ones the whole time. Yeah. So
Shout out to Terrence, man.
That's kind of a jerk move.
Shout out to Terrence. Terrence did a great job.
Yeah. Yeah, Terrence did great. Terrence, Gina, both, yeah, awesome. Well, I just want to say you guys both very super talented. I have not read your book because I don't read, but I do. Darla picked one up this weekend. I think she's going to read it to me. I did hear that the 2 words to save Christmas are Curtis Ackerman, so I'm excited.
Spoiler
about that.
alert.
Just tell him it is, Darla.
Yeah.
It's gonna make us Christmas. So
But you know, great work on that. The photos on all the stuff that we saw this weekend. I mean, so many amazing reveals. Great job, Trevor. I mean, absolutely killed it. Including mystery drop, right?
Yeah.
We got the Valiant Night last year, and this year we get one.
You said mind blown a couple minutes ago. Oh, you're talking about the swig thing. Like
Yeah.
that happens. How many minds can be blown? It's like we have 9 lives in our brains because it's just mind blown after mind blow. After, it's like starting Thursday.
You know,
You know?
in a little while, we're going to talk to Jeremy Girard, and I don't really envy him because he's talked about before, victim of your own success kind of thing. You always try to one up yourself. How do you do that? Like they just did all these secret reveals, and they bring out a character and drop him on the table, and now he's got to come up here and tease us for next year. Like that's
The thing
gonna be
is, I know they will.
tough. Oh yeah, they will. They'll deliver. You
by the
know
way,
it.
that Ninian infantry was in the background picture of Basilia. And
yeah.
Jeremy told me like nobody saw it really. They
No.
saw it over here.
So,
But they didn't see it in the
I heard
picture.
people talking about it, and what I had heard was people were kind of speculating that'll be like in a future wave
Okay.
or something, or maybe that's
Yeah.
part of the lore. What I don't know why you guys would do that, like fully
Silly
actually
people.
make a character and then just throw them in the background. But yeah, that was interesting. So
Next year it'll just be like in the clouds, like it'll be like a formation or something like that.
awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys coming up.
You have to.
Thank you. Oh wow, we just got it. You guys missed that on camera, but that was a lovely smooch.
Chopped liver?
There you go. Thank you very much. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you, buddy.
We will see you again. Yep.
Go.
yes,
Remember,
you guys on the next quest.
yeah, about the midway point of to the next LegionsCon is MesquiteCon.
Yes,
Hopefully,
sir.
we see you guys there as well.
I'll be there, bro.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Next, I'd like to bring up, your counterpart. You're very evil. We need somebody good up here.
Well, he was there.
He was there.
That's official now. We
Yep.
have it on tape.
Kent, come on down. The other half of the new God's Fire pack that was offered this weekend for Wolf King Customs.
Hello there.
Kent, tell us a little bit about your thoughts on the whole God's Fire pack and you and Joe being immortalized in this God's Fire that you love so much. I know first of all, before you answer, I was talking to Big Dub earlier, and he says, Kent's always
Hopefully
talking
you
about.
didn't say safety.
He says Kent's always talking about God's Fire never dies. He goes, and it doesn't matter. He's like, I could be doing a video about like my daughter's like graduation or a soccer game or something, and Kent's in the comments going, God's Fire never dies. Has nothing to do with toys. But you have definitely been carrying that torch and pushing those two guys all year long. What is it like to be in God's Fire? Not only in God's Fire, but my understanding from talking to Steven is in the lore now, you are the person that created God's Fire. So tell us a little bit about your thoughts on that.
I was never one of those people that was like, I'm going to cry at LegionsCon. And when Steven was starting to tell me about the lore, I was like, I got to go record a few things. And I think I got a little bit of plastic in my eye. I'll be right back. Luckily, when I got over to Emil with his height, I was just able to kind of put my head into his chest. So he didn't have to see me whining, but it's freaking amazing. I love God's Fire. I love those guys, Wolf King, you, Joe. So to be able to do something like that, be part of something with your friends, and just kind of helping, endorsing it, having fun with it. I love how much people they use these head sculpts and stuff, and just want them to really know the stories and everything behind them. So hopefully people are getting excited. They enjoyed the boxes this weekend, and just love spreading that God's Fire and just building to the community. It's always been about the add-ons and having fun with it.
It's awesome.
Chat.
Oh
Whoa.
Is this live?
shoot! Can you answer that?
We still got what time is it?
We've got a couple hours, I think, till it's live.
But Trevor, if I find you on the elevator, you won't be.
Oh wow, and that's the good character in God's Fire. So
So don't let Joe find you.
another thing, I know we've talked a couple times now about the customizing studio event.
Wait. I
Yeah.
have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
So we both got like tributes, right?
Correct.
But I didn't get to Motorboat Emil.
No, you did not.
And that doesn't seem fair, so-
That,
think he
that
might
was
still be
early
here.
Saturday.
You might be able to
You
do
didn't know
that
that?
for it,
Oh.
probably. Yeah.
I mean, Kent got to.
Yeah. So customizing studio Kent was our first time doing it, and obviously I was busy. I had some helpers up there was busy, but we had you up there doing some filming for the event. Can you just tell us? Obviously your video isn't out yet. I've told people to kind of be on the lookout for it, but tell us a little bit of kind of what you saw from behind the camera and your thoughts on the event itself.
I mean, to me, the customizing studio is all about getting some very talented people together with, people that are talented, but they just don't know how to kind of step into it. They need just that extra little step. So to be able to put some people that are very confident with their painting and no gatekeepers. So I love that about our community, and everybody's willing to share and kind of help people reach their goals. So you get like-minded people together, people that really want to get better at things, get a little bit of advice. And you just saw people kind of sitting down at the tables, conversations, and then just working away, and how much fun they were having on their pieces. We threw in some prizes from the Wolf King, so that was a lot of fun to be able to share that and all of those painting supplies, brushes. So hopefully encouraging those folks even more, and hopefully we'll see them in the customizing studio, and hopefully some other people will hear about it and want to join in on the customizing studio.
Awesome. So yeah, look for that video on Kent. I'm sure you got plenty other footage from this weekend that's going to make it into some videos.
Tons of footage,
Yeah.
not enough internet. Maybe as people are headed out, maybe some of the videos will start uploading, but some of that just goes to all of the awesome footage. When you're sitting down with just talented people from the studio and our friends and family over this past week, it's hard to be like, you know what, I only want this for 10 minutes when they're pouring what they're doing into the footage. So you just want to try to keep putting out as much as you can into the video. And I know some people will definitely appreciate that.
Awesome. So we've asked a few people about a memorable moment. We've already talked about the God's Fire thing, but besides that, what's one thing that you're taking back with you that's going to kind of get you through the next 12 months to the next LegionsCon?
I mean, again, for me, as much fun as I love people watching the videos, commenting, people watching the ads all the way through, to be able to come to an event like this.
Don't skip the ads, folks.
to be able to come to an event like this and people, coming up saying hello there. They might not have talked to a ton of people over the weekend, but hopefully they have enjoyed something from the video, and it gives them that easy to come ask a question, to come chat for a little bit. I just enjoy meeting everybody, and I would rather have somebody run into me into a video than comment later that they saw me at the show. So I'm just grateful for everybody that took the time and shared a little bit with me over the weekend.
Awesome. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it was awesome seeing you, Kent. You know I know I was your +1 last year.
Yes, sir.
Intern.
Full intern this year.
Yeah, full intern. But you know, you're the +1 in my heart. So
Forever, buddy. Forever.
yeah, love you, big guy. All right.
I'm not getting any hugs.
Yeah, you can go hug him on that side. Oh, yeah, across me. Oh my God. Oh God. Oh, holy cow.
Careful what you wish for, folks.
All right, I don't know if I'm breaking the rules, but I'm gonna go back here and eat some pizza.
Have at it, man. We do have a super chat here, $19.99 from Rob Zamora. Watching from my room. Have to get up at 3:30. It was truly great meeting everyone in person. You're all some great and friendly people. And I'm really happy to call you all my friends. I felt the love. I love you all. And then that's a ghost emoji. And then that's a fox emoji. El Spooky Zorro, Rob Zamora. First LegionsCon. Great seeing that guy. Let's hear it for Rob Zamora. All right, next, and I may regret this. Real quick, I got one more. I got to just a quick second. You got to close out the show. Just one second, because I'm not going to hear the end of it. Van, come on up.
Jeremy, we got pizza, man. Get some cheese in here. What do you want, cheese?
Yeah, we're gonna have to make this quick because we're gonna have to make this quick because Jeremy is dying over there.
Jeremy, come on down. Jeremy,
If there's one thing I learned this weekend is that he is not going to be on screen with you right now.
Jeremy, you want to sit beside me? Jeremy. Audience, stop. Jeremy, you told me to calm down on my own show, and I did it for you. You don't think I could do it here?
Hurry up!
Jeremy, come on down.
Jeremy Girard, everybody.
Jeremy Girard, LegionsCon 2020. Stand up. Come on, give him. Yeah. No, Jeremy. Yeah, I'm just saying.
All right.
All for you.
Let's squeeze it
Best
in.
behavior, right? Don't hit me in the back.
Squeeze it on in. Come on. Let's get Jeremy on screen.
Jeremy, I want to start off with saying, like yourself, I headbutted the marble that's here in this hotel, and it's unforgiving. Unforgiving, ladies and gentlemen, but I said my best behavior. Jeremy Girard, one more time. Jeremy Girard. And I'm done.
I just have one question for you, man.
Don't
question.
do this to me. I said best behavior.
One question.
Damn you.
One
Darla, help.
One memorable thing that you're taking from the week that's going to get you to the next LegionsCon.
How about this? Standing over there, 3/4 drunk, I got to listen. You shut up, sir. I got to listen to Mira talk about how much this show meant to her. But what brought me the most joy, and not taking one from Mira, like Mira, you're amazing, absolutely amazing in every way. But how about my buddy Andy? His first LegionsCon, a lot of hurdles overcame to get here. That is what it's about. That is what Jeremy does it. That's what the Four Horsemen do it. Because they absolutely, there is no fan service better than the fan service you get from Four Horsemen Studios. I stood up.
Good job.
That's my most
They couldn't
memorable
tell.
moment. The most memorable moment is how they get folks to come from all across the planet. We got Emil Wickman, who will not read my super chat in his native tongue. Google Translate delivered it, and Emil said no. But that's what like seriously gets me in my feels. That's why we do our purple gang thing. Because it's about bringing people outside of what is going on in their current lives. Not gonna do my soapbox, not gonna do it on your show, but what brings them outside of what's going on and what gets us all together. We weren't talking about politics. We weren't talking about dietary preferences. We weren't talking about parenting skills. We were here for Mythic Legions, ladies and gentlemen. We were here for all of the artists in the community who have the passion to keep uplifting us all and just doing things better. And all of this would not have been possible. I'm sorry, Jeremy. Were it not for D13 Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, D13 Jesus, but also the 4 horsemen.
Just to tack on to that.
Yeah, thank you. I'm done.
I had a good conversation last night with our good friend Guaisagwe.
Echevarria. Yeah.
Can't you want to hit us with that?
Can we?
Is it gonna be too loud?
Swap at it.
It's not gonna be loud enough. There we are.
And you know, he very much was taking in the love and all the different emotions of the weekend, and was having a conversation with me last night and saying that he wishes he could do more for the community, that there was something else that he could do to give back. And I asked him, I said, did you watch Legions of Ladies the other night? And he said, yes. I said, did you see Mira when she was up there? And he goes, yeah, she's just a ball of energy and passion. And I said, you are the same. You're cut from the same cloth. Like you bring the
precisely.
Size too. But I was like,
that's mean, Joe. That's mean.
That was a little mean.
Like,
that's why you're the evil God's fire
You're
character.
canceled.
Yeah.
We don't touch Mira. We don't touch Guaisagwe.
Yeah.
Jeremy, can you double down on that? Like, that's like.
So anyway,
if I cringe, it's bad. I'm just saying.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Bring it back in. So anyways, what I'm saying is that, you know, Guaisagwe, we know him. He goes to a lot of conventions.
Love that dude. Yeah.
Great guy. And he does the same thing. Like he brings that same passion and energy and excitement and just exudes it. And we all feel that. And I think that really is what Purple's all about, right? Wouldn't you say?
Purple is sad because I wish Guaisagwe was still here.
Yeah. It's a blending of two colors, right?
Can you log into my stream?
No, I can't. I can't. He's got a nice poem about it though. But
here's what's impressive. Like somebody asked on our live stream that was glitched out, so it probably is not even on YouTube right now. And he like waxed poetic.
Oh yeah, just right there on the spot.
I know you've had your Guaisagwe moments. I was there at ZolaCon. He is like, we all know that Van is probably, he's not the wholesome warlock. Van is trying to walk a purple path. We're all trying to get him there. Jeremy, God bless his heart.
Trying to control you.
Jeremy's like, Van, calm down. I'm sleepy. Like, Jeremy's such a sweet guy. He's like, he wants to slap me, but he's better than me. He's better than me in every way. And he's like, Van, just like, stop. And I can't. Sometimes I can't.
Van, I'm so tired.
So tired.
You were over there whispering in my ear, and like every 11th word I understood.
It's about right. It's about right.
In the way you were putting words together are not the way that words are meant to go together.
In fairness, Jeremy, I can barely read, and now you're gonna like.
You weren't reading. You were talking.
You didn't allow me to finish a sentence. So all I'm saying is like,
Put down his mic.
John, don't do me that way. Like, seriously, I will cancel your passport. You're not coming back.
I guess what I'm trying to say is,
Come live with me.
in order to give back to the community, you don't have to be on a million shows like myself.
Just be a good person.
Be a good
right?
person.
Just be a good.
Just be a good person.
Just like seriously, we're
Be a
gonna
good
set.
person and let Jeremy go to bed.
No. Jeremy's with us for life. Here, we're gonna set the bar low. Be better than me.
So,
be better than me.
Just be
There
the
you go.
best you can be.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
When the show closed today, I packed up all my stuff, and right towards the end, everything was there, and I'm a little overwhelmed having to get it all done. I missed everything else. And Van comes up to my booth and he's like, is there anything we can do to help? And Van, Dirk, a whole group of people helped out.
He's a raccoon.
That was like, dude, that was like 3 hours ago. What the hell happened in 3 hours? Like, dude, you were so coherent at that point. You were helpful. You took charge. I moved nothing out to my car. They moved everything for me.
Good job.
I couldn't get the banners down because Dirk tightened it
He's
with
our
raccoon
Lord and
strength.
Savior.
And it was so like, but he got it all, he got it done.
Well,
But 3 hours
Raccoon
ago.
strength. I don't have it.
At this point, I know Jeremy needs to go to bed, so I'm gonna ask you to go back to the audience.
No,
Let me make
before you
room.
do it,
And-
Jeremy, no, Jeremy. Ladies and gentlemen, he talked about how great I was in helping him, and then he dashes me down that quickly.
We see, we can't see him. He's off screen.
No,
Oh boy, you're getting kicked out like Billy Bushka.
that's not Billy Bushka. Nothing changed. Like, seriously, everybody put in as much energy towards your neighbor, towards anybody in your vicinity as Jeremy put forth towards LegionsCon 2024. If I don't get an applause as I walk off the stage, I'm flipping over this table and the
So
stream's
if
done.
we
Sorry.
pause, you're walking on the stage. All right, here we go. All right, folks. Yes,
Real quick, I found something alarming up here. You might have to address it.
it's a rectangle, folks. It's
sitting
supposed
right
to be
here.
a square.
Let's go.
All right, Jeremy.
Yes.
Sorry we kept you so long.
It's okay.
I
You
know
told
you're
me to
tired.
be here. You told me to be here at 8:50.
Yeah, you know, some asshole scheduled this
Can you tell
con for
time?
8 o'clock this morning. You know that?
Cow, is that the time?
I may have been told that I scheduled the day too early
Yeah.
by everyone I work with. By everyone I work with. I do. Sure. Yeah.
First off, I just want to say you guys absolutely delivered this weekend. I mean, just killed it. Let's hear it for the floors. You know, between the excellent, we were in this venue last year. Obviously, you guys took some notes on what worked, what didn't work, what you would like to change, made some modifications, and as all indications, as far as I could tell, is things went great. You added this new armory experience, which I know there was some kind of concern on how that was going to go and how well it was going to be received and stuff. But it seems like everything went great, and then you have all these great reveals and everything.
Lifetime achieved.
Yeah, I mean that was the line last year. We did this show, and at the end you said next year you guys are going to have a buying. What did you say? It was like buying experience that you've never seen before.
Yeah, and I was referring to the armory.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, everybody, that was the biggest thing I was nervous about at LegionsCon this year. Everyone seemingly had an amazing time in the armory. I know you're all feeling like you want to give applause. My guy Joe over here. He absolutely locked that stuff down. I think part of the reason he locked it down is when everyone came to the armory, they knew they could not mess around, because when Joe is happy, Joe's face still looks like he's going to kill you. So Joe was happy all weekend, but people came in and they were like, I am not messing with Joe Vassapolo. I'm getting through this armory. But he did an amazing job.
Absolutely.
Everyone in there did an amazing job keeping that thing going. And it went great.
I got to say, I mean, I think a lot of us probably had ideas in our head on how it was going to look. But the fact that, Joe had it set up with like these, wooden things in the back that had the parts on them. So you knew exactly what was in that bin and everything was separated and the line just went so smooth. And then, I was actually in the first intern session. We got to go through the armory experience. And, right away, there were some things where, everything was funneling to one register and something. And immediately you guys took notes, made changes. And so by the time it got here to Saturday, this thing was going like a well-oiled machine.
And that's why we did it at intern first, not only to give interns that additional benefit, but so we could kind of beta test it and see what it was all about, make those adjustments. We wanted to make sure that when we got here and it was a much larger crowd, we were able to make that flow to the point where we didn't even do tickets today. Like yesterday, we gave our tickets and told people, come back at this time, come back at this time. But we realized that they were going so much faster. There were big gaps where like no one was using it. So we were just letting people in. We were just telling people, just go to the door. If there's no one there, they'll let you in. So we absolutely learned from our experience this week. There are already plans for Armory next year.
Beautiful.
We've already got.
That's great news. Another new thing was this, storefront, experience. So can you talk a little bit about how that went?
Yeah. When I said a buying experience like no other, that's not what I was referring to, but actually that applies to that comment as well. So often when we do shows, it's really hard because we bring a ton of inventory, but we've got, 3 or even 4 8-foot tables. That's not that much space when you start laying out all of the different products. So typically what we do is we just, stack everything up on the tables, and it's efficient, but it's not very attractive. So one of the things we did this year was move Four Horsemen out of, the main ballroom, which I called the community room this year. And we moved them into a room just for Four Horsemen Studios. And that allowed us to kind of create it like a pop-up shop. I've said before that kind of taking inspiration from like Scholastic book fairs, where like, how cool is that when you were in elementary school and you go down to the cafeteria and there was a pop-up shop, you could buy cool stuff. So to merchandise it and make it feel like you were walking into the Four Horsemen store, that's what we were going for. And the feedback we got this week was it was super cool to do. It was a lot less pressure, because when you're at the table and there's like a line of people behind you, you feel like, I just got to get through this line. I got to get through this table. And you were able to go in there, shop around, see different things, and be a little more casual. So the feedback I've gotten so far is it went really, really well, and absolutely something we're going to do again.
Beautiful. Now, something I know that we kind of tinkered with last year, had a little bit of, but really blew up this year was this whole part swap, pop and swap thing. And I wasn't able to make it down here, but I've seen some videos from it. It looks like that thing was absolutely huge.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us a little bit about your thoughts on how that went and whether we're going to have that in the future?
Absolutely. I was busy last night as well. I was not able to make it out to the part swap, but that's okay because I knew it was being run by a team that was going to absolutely lock that down. And that's one of the things that is really different about LegionsCon this year is I realize we can only do so much. We being myself, Joe Viteri, Four Horsemen Studios, for this to have different sessions and different things to do after hours, we had to rope in other people that wanted to participate. Obviously, Curtis, you guys did that with the customizing studio on Friday night, that, parts exchange on Saturday, even something like this where, I did no work for this, but this is something that a crowd of people here at LegionsCon are getting to enjoy. So absolutely, that's what we imagine going forward. That part swap, I saw the videos and I saw the photos from it. That hallway was packed. Bringing in cool stuff like that are led by members of the community. Can't say enough about how proud I am to bring that as part of the show.
Yeah, and I just on a personal note, I'm truly honored that, to be one of those folks that you reached out to and asked to run, one of those things. And, I absolutely loved the customizing studio event, and I heard some really great responses from people that, either were just first getting into painting. There's a couple individuals that maybe had not done it in quite a while because they just hadn't made the time, and were talking to me about just being energized with going out and doing it again once they get back home. And then to hear today, Len was telling me he's talking to Sherry because she had stopped by the table and saw the bust that people had put at his table that they had painted during the studio. And she said, I didn't even know anything about this. And she's like, I absolutely want to be there and do that next year.
That's awesome.
I mean, that would be so great.
That would be super cool.
Yeah. So, well, I don't want to take up much more of your time, but you've left us with a really big kind of, hint last year for what to expect this year. We know we're going to be in the same venue next year. What can you kind of tease us with as the director of sales and marketing, and you really want us to come back? Yeah, what can we expect next year?
So it's funny.
I was going to say that. But now I'm getting fired.
I got fired. It's my first day on the job.
It's interesting you ask, because I had a conversation with someone earlier where last year they were here, and you know, as people are leaving, I'm always like, "Did you have a good time? That's excellent. I'm so happy to hear that. Will we see you next year?" Because obviously that's important.
Yeah.
If people aren't coming to the show to support the show doesn't happen. And there was a person last year that said, I don't know. Not that they didn't have a great time, but obviously it's a sacrifice to come here. It's an expense. It's, you know, time out of work. Obviously people have things they have to do at home. Van, there's a very busy time for Van at home. He makes a big sacrifice to be here, and I recognize that. And thank you very much, Van. I love that. But no, he asked me that, and last year I told him it's the 10-year anniversary. You know, it's a celebration. It was big reveals, all that stuff. So he came this year. And as he was leaving, he reminded me of that. And he said, why would I want to come next year? And what I told him was, we kind of started to tease the next story arc for Mythic Legions. You know, the mythos that we've known so far, the characters we've known so far, skeletons, orcs, goblins, dwarves, knights, all those types of characters, we've made so many of them. And not that we're not going to make more of them, but it's now time to start exploring some new character types. In that reveal at G-Con, we talked about new races, you know, new factions, new creatures, new locations. Next year is really going to be the start of that, where we're going to start to see what this next arc of Mythic Legions looks like and really where we're going. So anyone that's wondering, why should I come to, you know, the show next year? If you want to see how this world is going to expand, if you want to see where we're going, please come with me. Let's set sail for LegionsCon 2025.
That was
After that, I might just come back.
Hey, Joe Gonsalves, everybody.
Joe's
Jer-
back.
Jeremy, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I will absolutely let you go to bed. Bring it in. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, click it. There we go. And nope. There we go. We're back. Okay. So
John, you said you'd play the intro again.
yeah. So we just heard from Jeremy about coming back next year.
Oh,
We're
we
getting
have
ready-
to come back again next year.
Yep, we do. We do.
I'm too
We
tired.
did talk to him about the start time. It was a little early.
And
I don't know. We'll see.
yeah, that ain't changing.
We'll see. But he is tired right now, though.
Wait.
So maybe it's a little early for him too.
He
Yeah.
might be changing it
Okay.
to 7.
To 7. So
Put it on European time.
yeah, exactly.
That seems fair.
So, Chris, why? First of all, we've been asking all these folks as they've been coming up here, kind of a memorable thing that they're going to take from this weekend that's going to get them to next year's LegionsCon to see all their friends again. What is one thing for you that you took from this weekend that's just going to help get you through the next 12 months?
That's That's a good question. I don't really have anything funny to say. That's the first time.
You can always be sincere.
No, I am. It's funny because I was actually talking to I don't talk to George. Get out of here. George hates fun and talking. I was talking to one of our new what do you call it? I don't know. What do you
Employees?
No.
Employees to your person? No, is that not it?
One of our new I just can't think of the word. It's so late. You know, our
vendors?
Yeah, vendor. Thank you.
Okay.
Vala.
Yeah.
Right? And it was just right at the end of the day today, and I was asking him how everything was, and you know, he said it was great. Obviously, his first time, and I went on to tell them about how all of us look forward for the entire year for this weekend, and there's no drama. Everybody loves each other. Hugs abound. You know, it's like, you know, everyone knows when I see them for the first time, they get smothered in hugs. You know, and I just look forward to it. I can't wait, and I can't wait to see what new crazy stuff we're gonna do for the show. Like we did the armory, aka the configurator. That's what it used to be called. And that all of that, it just keeps me going for the next year, keeps me going in terms of trying to make sure everything is ready in time, which also means pushing everyone else to make sure that it's ready for me to give to the factory to be ready in time.
Right.
But yeah, that's really my sincere, honest answer.
Okay.
It's the only time you're gonna get that.
Well, we're gonna try one more, because as we're talking about being sincere and honest, we had mentioned earlier, your favorite boss was back this year, and he got to see the venue for the first time, and he got to open up G-Con, and we heard him making announcements and stealing work from Pete McCarthy. What was your thoughts on seeing CB here and about and walking around and being part of the show?
Well, it started for me before that because he was at intern. So having him at intern was amazing. Obviously, you know, with everything that he's going through, it's great to have him doing well, you know, because he's the heart of the company.
Yeah.
The biggest heart. I think he had, you know, surgery to get more heart put in.
Yeah.
It's
We
just
can
so full of
rebuild him.
heart. Yes.
Yeah. Bigger, faster, stronger.
Yes.
Yeah.
And more full of love.
Right.
And so, you know, we were obviously happy to have him at intern, and that was a smaller venue. So to have him here with 10 times, 20 times the amount of people, whatever, is even better, because personally, I know he's happy to be here. So with him being happy to be here makes me happy that he's here. And I'm just happy because, you know what I mean? It's everything all together. So we're all glad that he was able to be here. Everyone out there is glad he was able to be here. And
yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
D13 Jesus heals.
Well, this is true. At this time, it looks like the audio, for whatever reason, has not been working since Chris has been on. So we've loved hearing from you. But just so you know, none of those sincere things that you just said were recorded or going to be listened to by anybody else.
Awesome. You know what? This sounds like a 4-ish o'clock episode.
So now you can completely deny all the sincere things that you just said.
Don't know what happened. Don't know what
there
happened.
you go. We appreciate you joining us.
You know what? Shooting the Shelve sent me.
There you go. That is it, folks. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for coming to another LegionsCon. We look forward to seeing y'all next year. It's going to be great. Yeah.
Boom enabled.
See everybody later. Thank you very much.
Curtis, is it 11-ish o'clock?
I think it is. Kent, you want to hit us?
Look under your chair.